We control the game.
Oh, Lindy is frozen. Oh yes, yeah. She says distract them.
Mm-hmm. So hey, everyone.
Lindy's frozen.
Yes. We control the game now. Welcome to Cthulhu.
Yeah, this is what happens when you win Cthulhu, everyone. You get the right to become all keepers.
How it works.
Smooches are nice. We haven't thought of our 1930s cop names yet. But, yeah. Welcome to this fun little side mission.
I just realized something. If my cop name would be Officer Wiggins. I'm a Simpsons character. Gosh dang it!
Nice. I love it.
Make a good realization to come to.
Mm-hmm. Gosh dang it!
How's chat doing anyway?
How's
Tuesday? God, man, it's Tuesday. It's crazy. But why don't we, as we're waiting, just remind. Oh, hey, you're muted. We can't hear you.
You can't.
No, we can.
Okay, I was about to. The Eldritch deities just deemed it necessary to have me stuck in like. Oh, just kidding! You can't connect, and I was like, "Oh, I can connect." Internet provider, thank you, Comcast. But I'm back. We're here now. So that threw me completely off my loop. But we're just gonna. Hey everybody. Start over. Welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hey everybody watching on Twitch, and if you're watching on YouTube, hello to you too. We're here every Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern for Beyond the Mountains of Madness. Today is episode 6, which is pretty crazy. We're almost to Antarctica, but let's go around the cast and crew and figure out who we are and who we're playing. Unfortunately, Renee, our lovely Ray DNR, is going to be late tonight, so she'll just pop in at some point. And Little Cup of Joe is had something related come up, so she's not going to be here today as well. So we're just starting off with the boys this evening, which is fantastic. So we're going to start off with Crumpler. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, everyone. I am Crump64. I am playing Baxter Wiggins, artist hired as the cartographer in this expedition. And boy, is it great to finally win Call of Cthulhu, everyone. So, I don't know why we were all called to this meeting here, but Lindy said it was very important, so I'm just waiting to see what... I guess it acted like endgame content probably after when we win, but
yeah.
We'll see.
All those side quests you guys didn't do, because you were plugging away real hard at that main quest.
I'm terrible at side quests. Anyway.
Yeah, well, we're gonna finish off the side quest now that you've done the main quest of Catch the Saboteur. Let's move over to Jimersion.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me back again. I'm Jimersion, aka Jim Moreno. I'm playing the resident survivalist, outdoorsman, Hunter Merrill, and we are almost to Antarctica, and I will finally get to do my job right and proper, which is fail every dice roll.
Excellent. That's not going to be bad for your sanity at all. So, speaking of sanity, hey, Pro Restarter, how are you doing?
Oh, hey. Yeah, super good to be here. As was said, I'm super glad we came back to do our commentary meeting on how we beat Cthulhu. Said it couldn't be done. I beat all of the naysayers, and I'm super glad to be here and accept this award. For best person in the internet. So feel free to give me that anytime, Lindy.
Sure.
But I played Hayden Stewart, ace pilot, and I'm here to accept my award. So
excellent. Yes, you played Hayden Stewart, indeed. Hollowtail, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Lindy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm Hollowtail, and I play Sebastian Wintercroft, the Doctor. And I must say, my favourite moment with Hayden and defeating the end boss of this entire campaign has to be when he did his jazz fluting. It was probably one of the best distractions I've seen.
Beautiful. And, yeah, Sebastian Wintercroft, it's great. So, quick recap of what happened. Oh, before we get to the recap, I gotta let you guys know that we are sponsored today by Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All the beautiful and lovely roles that hopefully go to my favorite today will be in Fantasy Grounds, and you can see any party-like handouts that I give them as well. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Just go to waylandgames.co.uk, and you can get a big range of D&D, Warhammer, all sorts of minis for 20% off. And also, you should check out our new sponsor, Dice Envy. They have an amazing subscription where you can get cool new dice every month. I think it's just $5 at least. That starts at $5. You have access to a limited run of dice, and use the code EncounterRP for 10% off everything. So also let people know we're playing. Retweet. There's a retweet. There's a tweet in the chat. I don't know which direction it is. I think it's this way. Also, you can interact with today's game. You can donate. You can give the players nat 1s, nat 20s. You have a couple nat 20s here on the screen. Wild magic surges, which always get a little crazy in Call of Cthulhu. And then one last way you can interact is if you see a moment that you just find hilarious, or you love it, or it's incredibly lewd, or if it's horrible and everyone's crying, clip it! Clip it and share it! We want to see it. We want to see what you guys like. But now we're going to get started so you guys have an opportunity to clip some things. Last week on Beyond the Mountains of Madness, we had the saboteur was apprehended and caught aboard the ship, aboard the SS Gabrielle. And Lois was pretty angry about it because he poisoned the puppers. There was a slight, there was a cookie interrogation or biscuit interrogation with Hayden and Sebastian, and they found out that he had planted a very poorly made bomb on the ship as well, which got disarmed before heading into port, but made the media even more eat it up. They loved it. They thought the story was fantastic. You guys filled out a bunch of police reports because the police are going to have to look into saboteur work because a bunch of stuff happened. And you all are in Australia for a few days as certain supplies, there was 12 tons of food that needed to be replaced, a few generators, some trail radios, some camp radios. So y'all had a few days to get all along in Australia. But also, some of the puppers, the sled puppers, were poisoned, thus losing 14 sled dogs total. That's a full team and then some. So Mr. Moore had asked you all to go talk to an Olaf Bjornsson, who apparently retired in Australia. He was a very famous dog sledder expert, and he has a bunch of sled dogs with him still, and even though he's retired, he may be able to be persuaded to let some of them go for this expedition. So that's your main task for now, and then obviously getting to Antarctica, because that's where all the action is, you know, on this wonderful side quest since you won it last week. So we're gonna, also, they had a bunch of partying in Australia. Kangaroo burgers were had, mass quantities of alcohol were had, even some interesting Outback ladies were had. So we're gonna pop back in the next day. Baxter had a great time. Definitely didn't do illegal gambling in the back streets of the Chinatown in Melbourne, Australia. Shh, it's fine. I'm not the police. The NPCs are. But yeah, we're gonna pop back in. You've recovered for a day, and nursed a couple of hangovers. Most of y'all were pretty good though. Kangaroo burgers helped a lot. And so you guys are in Melbourne. You know that it's about a 2-hour train ride up a little further into Australia, where Mr. Olaf Bjornsson lives and is retired. And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Are we all together?
Probably. I know that Hunter has been staying on the ship rather than the hotel, but the rest of you are staying in the hotel. Lena and Lois have decided that even though they didn't really have a hangover yesterday from the last night's shenanigans, they're just gonna rest and recover and recuperate before just enjoying the relaxation time before they do a lot of the hard sciencey work in Antarctica. Get back on the boat. Walk around the park, stretch the legs a little bit. They're done with ship stuff for now. Leaving it to the boys.
Yeah. You know, I really enjoyed my stay here. You know, I could just see myself just kicking it up here. You know, just not going back on the ship. Just staying here and kangaroo burgers. You know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, the jazz bar is kind of sweet there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
It is. I was even speaking to the owner, and I think they said that they're looking for business partners. New goal.
Yeah.
If I have some money with me to invest, maybe. But yes, the jazz bar did seem delightful.
Yes.
Burgers were great.
Players revolt.
I don't know what you guys drank last night, but you seem like you'd be a whole different person now.
Well, I have still got reason to go to the Antarctic, of course, but maybe on the way back.
Yes,
On the way
yes,
back,
it's
of
nice.
course.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good idea.
Yes, definitely on the way back. It's nice to be in a place where there's no prohibition. Speaking of which, we should get some more alcohol for our trip.
Definitely. I was thinking the same thing. Some will be good for medical supplies, but some will be good more for our state of mind and everything else, in fact. It's a
Definitely
useful
for more.
investment.
Yes, I agree with you. I think getting these sled dogs is a top priority, though. Make sure we get the goods on them.
Of course.
I would
So
have
we-
brought back those instructions from Professor Moore about the dogs, about
Yeah.
everything we have. Would he have given me a dollar amount that we need to shoot for or stay under, or how much we can offer this bonus?
He would say because it's try not to. You need 14 doggos. Let me do some quick math. And 1930s to 2018 conversion or 2019. He would say to try not to go above a couple thousand for the because it's gonna be a few months in Antarctica, like a month and a half, 2 months. So try not to go above a few thousand if possible.
So we still have we have the sleds, we have the equipment.
You just need dogs.
Just need the dogs. Copy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I would have brought all that information back to the team, briefed them, and then we would have gotten the train tickets and headed off. Before that happened, I would have talked to the jazz club owner or somebody in charge there, and requested a large shipment of kangaroo burgers be made and processed and delivered to the ship, to the Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could definitely make up and freeze a bunch of kangaroo patties for you guys.
Excellent.
That
Enough
would
for us, the expedition and the crew members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take them a couple days to get it all ready, but you guys are going to be in port for a few because
Good.
it takes
Yeah, so
time
we
to
get
get 12 tons of food replacement, and generators and stuff. So they'll say they'll have it all ready to go, and they'll bring it to the ship before y'all head out. So it's going to take them a few days. They're only one business, but it's definitely doable.
Good.
All right.
All right, we'll
See you guys.
get on find the train station and head out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys get on the train. It's a nice train. So there is food and alcohol available for purchase on board. If any of you partake. And so before you know it, you are a little further in. Yeah. Lots of interesting things. You find actually that they have like chocolate covered scorpions. It's like a treat.
Interesting.
What?
It's like a novelty treat on the train. They've got chocolate covered scorpions.
I love it.
Hunter will definitely munch those down.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I
used
was
to that
going
kind
to
of
dare
delicacy.
someone, but okay, Hunter, you go on ahead.
Nope. Not gonna.
Yeah, you think he's probably had these before, or something similar.
It's super casual about it.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I'll take a few of those. Yeah. All right.
Yuck.
I thought there would be more hesitation, but he seems to very much enjoy them.
Yeah, I don't want to say a man's taste, but not me.
Very well. The crunch does seem unsettling.
Yes, rather loud and.
It is quite sickening, in fact.
It's like I feel them on me.
Don't say
Mark
that.
one
Why are you
off.
going to detail? Now you're making this worse.
Yes, you're making me... maybe not the scorpions.
Yes, mark one off for Australia.
Oh, well, more for me. Just bring them all.
Yeah.
Well,
Like they're poker chips.
Just popping them like popcorn.
we should have ordered something aside from just the scorpions
It's
that
got
fill our
the same,
table.
the same kind of crunch as popcorn.
Yeah, why do he ordered as a buttload of scorpions? Right, because Baxter's going to prank someone. Either way.
All right. Scorpions and maybe a couple of drinks are had on the train ride up, and before you know it, you're in a very rather small Australian town. This is just a stop; it's not the destination of the train, as it keeps going inland. But you're in a very small town, and you were given Mr. Olaf's address. He lives in kind of like kind of a ranch type thing. He's got a lot of property, and you head straight there.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a man on a mission.
Yeah, do we need is it a taxi or do we need to
It's
You know.
it's only it's a very small town. It's only you could walk it quite easily. It'll only take you about 15-20 minutes to walk. Or you could taxi and be there in like 3. It's only about a mile
I'll
off.
suggest we walk if everyone's open for that.
Well, up for a stroll.
Now last session we left almost early evening. Is it still night now or
It's about sunset at this point.
okay.
It's dusk. It's summer in Australia, so the days are pretty long.
Yeah.
So even
well, I
though
also
it's evening
know
time, yeah.
I also know that there are everything in Australia can kill you. So maybe
Yes.
I don't
Like
recommend we walk.
scorpions.
All right, so you guys take a cab.
Yeah, well, I think we'll take a cab this time.
All right, you take a cab. You see just hordes of rattlesnakes and poisonous things on the sides of the road. No, you don't see anything.
It shows well.
You don't see anything like that at all. You just drive along, see a few people kind of eating dinner outside. It's a lovely evening. It's actually not too hot for an Australian summer night. And before you know it, the sun is starting to set. You approach his ranch house. It is classic kind of style ranch house. It's got a large front porch, kind of wraps around. You don't see any fences on the property, though. You do see some dogs kind of running around out back, with a couple on the front porch as well, as you arrive. Big
All right,
old
well,
Siberian huskies.
Everyone be wary of the dogs, and we'll just approach slowly and carefully.
Okay?
Very well.
I'll do that.
Can't say I know much about dogs, so I will take your advice and stay a little behind.
Yeah.
Yes,
The person
I'm
with a good skill in dogs isn't here yet. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hayden's just gonna pop her cigarette and just be like, yes, well, after our experience before, well, let's just say I want to get this over with.
Definitely.
all right. There are 2 big old doggos on the front porch. As you guys are kind of walking up, he's got like a long drive to walk up, so it's 20 yards off still, but you see one of them kind of bark a couple times, and the other one like nudges the screen door open and goes inside as you guys approach. The dog doesn't seem to be approaching you. It's just chill. Very chill dog. You see a very large man exit as you guys are about a few yards away. Long blonde hair tied up into a ponytail, very long beard. This guy's at least 6'4", big broad shoulders, and he goes, "Oh, hello! Who do I have pleasure of meeting today?"
Good evening, sir. We are, I am Hunter Merrill. We are here on behest of James Starkweather and Professor William Moore. We are with the We are with the current Antarctic expedition, the Starkweather-Moore Antarctic expedition, and we've come to talk to you about some dogs. And I will take the letter of introduction that Starkweather-Moore handed me, and I'll hand it to him so he can read.
He'll step down the front porch a couple steps, take it, look at it, and the whole time the dog that was just sitting on the front porch is like heeled to his like left leg. Just same pacing, just sits right down when he stops. Seems to be very well trained. I'll kind of read it and be like, oh, well, I am retired, but we should go inside and talk, as in Antarctica I've actually never been. So please, come in.
Your Australian is impeccable.
Well, Australian. I do live in Australia, but we do speak English here. Mostly. Not many speak Russian.
Don't push it, Hayden. I'm begging you.
Understandable. I believe he was just joshing you, so to speak. A joke.
Oh, joke. Well, Josh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I am Sebastian Wintercroft.
He invites you inside.
We'll go in where he leads us.
Yeah, you see inside the furnishings, it's this weird blend between, like, minimalistic, lots of fur, rugs, coats, upholsteries, chairs everywhere, and, like, a couple of Australian things. Like, there's, like, kind of like a stuffed rattlesnake, kind of, like, sitting on, like, a coffee table, and there's a few dogs just laying inside. Not a lot of furniture in here, but there's lots of fur rugs covering the floor. Looks like bear rugs mostly, but you see some other kind of pelts as well. And he kind of leads you into a dining room where it's a long table and benches on either side. He goes, please have a seat. Could I offer you a drink? I have vodka.
Yes.
All right.
I love vodka. That would be delightful.
All right. Anyone else?
Coffee. Vodka and coffee.
All right. Sure. He'll,
I'll just have a tea, thank you.
I do not have tea, unfortunately. I do have coffee, and I do have vodka.
Vodka's
And water.
That's true. I'll have some tea. Some coffee then. Some tea.
I was going to say, Hayden.
I understand your pain, Hayden. There is no tea.
So he brings out like a tin coffee pot. Looks like it was on the stove, and inside is very strong coffee. And along with just an unlabeled bottle of vodka. Sets it down on the table, has some shot glasses and coffee mugs in case you want to help yourself. He just pours himself some vodka. And he says, so, you need 14 sledding dogs for Antarctica.
That is correct, sir.
Interesting. I was reading about a paper earlier about your expedition, and I thought you already had dog sledder. Oh, lady was her name? English lady. I've heard of her. She was newer in the field when I was retiring, but decent. Why you need more dogs now?
We very sadly had an unfortunate incident on board the ship on our way here, and we lost our dogs.
Oh, it is terrible.
That is why we're here now.
I do not wish to lose any of my dogs. So, is measures been taken to prevent further loss of dog life?
Extreme measures.
See.
We uphold the dog's life as much as possible.
Well, Tell me more about the expedition. Besides Antarctica, I read a little bit of paper, not a lot of it.
Sure.
Well,
Ask whatever questions you have.
So, where in Antarctica are you going? South Pole? Elsewhere? Coastline? What kind of terrain?
Thick, icy, heavy snow, winds, hazardous kind of conditions. So they need to be sturdy dogs so that they can have the best chance in going.
All my dogs sturdy, but some are better for long distance hauls, some are better for mountains, and he kind of just pats his massive hand onto the massive pupper next to him, just kind of ruffles his ears a little bit as it's just sitting right next to him now. A couple of them are just laying on the rugs in this room, just tongues lolling out as they're just chilling in here as you guys have your meeting.
I think there's going to be some mountainous terrain, but not too much.
All right. I'll take that into account. We will need 14 at least. Probably should take a couple more in case of injury or accident. I currently have... I could offer 18 dogs for trip, but I must go with them.
Hunter.
Did Starkweather make any stipulation or more make any stipulation about that?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you have a radio?
A radio? I have, of course I have radio. You have to make sure that everything is good in case of emergency. You do not spend 2 winters in a gulag and not have radio in house. And he kind of walks over to a cabinet and pulls out a radio, sets it on the table.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of turn it towards me and jostle it, and get the ship, see if the captain's aboard, and see if they know how to get hold of the.
You just chime in, and you get the comms engineer who's like, "Hold on one moment, I'll get you somebody of higher authority." And a minute later, you hear, "Aye, laddie! What's going on?"
What was that name again? Captain what?
Oh, this is
Turlo.
First Mate Turlo.
Turlo. It's Hayden Stewart. Have you seen... Well, would you know my voice? Over
You have a very distinctive accent compared to everyone else.
I mean, I could say the same to you, but we're from the same place, so...
That's very true. So I can recognize it. You didn't worry.
Good. God damn it. Good. What's the guy who's benefiting us again? What's their name?
Starkweather or more.
Starkweather. Is Starkweather about? You know how to get a hold of them? I have a question that we need to get fulfilled and okayed.
Well, Starkweather's talking with the press right now. They're all over the docks, want to know about the bomb and the saboteur and all that bloody stuff. But I could probably find more for you. Just give me a moment. You probably want to know what it's about. What you doing?
The dog owner is requesting that they come along as part of the purchase.
All right, I'll be right back. And he you hear the radio get set down. It's about 5 minutes later because he had to go find him on the ship. You hear, yes, hello, Mr. Stewart. I don't know why. This is my radio. Use it.
I can't see what you're talking about, but okay.
Mr. Stewart, I believe you're negotiating for more sledding dogs, yes?
Yes, we are. The owner of the dogs is requesting as part of the payment that they come along to ensure the safety of the animals.
I thought Mr. Bjornsson was retired, but if he wants to come along, I do not see why not. We have space aboard the ship now that Mr. Henning is no longer aboard.
All right, we're supposed to get an okay before we said okay. If you're fine with it, then
the check-in. Yes.
we'll go ahead and continue on with the purchase.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
No, thank
bye.
you for negotiating it.
All right, so while Hayden's...
Everyone could hear that.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You would have set it down like it's like plugged into like an outlet on the wall, so it's not like it can be portable, but it's currently plugged in. So you'd have been like that extra over talking.
All right, so while Hayden's talking to him, Hunter's looking around the place here, and it feels very familiar to his own, actually, and to others he's seen. Do I see any photos of previous expeditions or anything that Bjornsson has been in?
So you don't see photos of previous expeditions. However, give me a spot hidden check just to see how much you see while you're looking around this room.
All right. Let's see. That's going to be... all right. Nope. I don't see anything.
All right, so you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, aside from obvious. You don't see any expedition things, but in this hallway you do see framed pictures with like little names underneath them of dogs. There's just like a bunch of dog photos.
So,
like in rows.
Mr. Bjornsson,
Duh.
why, as I understand it, you're retired.
Duh.
So why would you want to come on this expedition out of retirement to Antarctica, of all places?
Well, you see, that is mostly why. I have been all over Siberia, Russia, North Pole. I have been to Canada. Many, many, many places I have been, but I've never been to Antarctica. It is basically only snowy region left in the world I have not been to.
As
Like it would make
fellow,
sense.
as a fellow outdoorsman, I can respect and understand that.
Yes. I have no
But,
desire to see Siberia for the 80th time on another sled run. So, the Antarctica is very different.
Well, as I said, I understand and respect that, so understand where I'm coming from here when I ask you, you and your dogs have been here in Australia for ever how long you've been in. Are you prepared for such an expedition?
Oh, you can take the Russian out of snow, but you cannot take the snow out of Russian.
Yeah, I understand that. Absolutely.
So,
All right, hundreds.
we,
That satisfied me.
yeah, by that time, Hayden would probably have been finishing up his radio call, and he's like, dogs get lots of sledding experience. We have ones that run on the sand here in Outback, and it's quite fun. They like to hunt rattlesnakes and all sorts of other things in Outback. Sometimes we go kangaroo chasing. It is all right. Mostly we did not want to retire in Russia, and, well, reasons.
I can understand that too.
Yes,
I've been
I'm sure you
close
have
to
very
Russia a
good
couple times.
Yes. Political climate. Last time I was there was very unstable. You guys would know the Russian Revolution happened only a little over 10 years ago, so...
Yep. All right, I'll take out the list of requirements that my fellow dog handler
Yep.
Jameson handed me, and I'll lay that all on the table. Now, these are some of the requirements specifically that I've been asked to look for. You would know which of your dogs would fit the best.
Duh.
And as it's getting later in the evening, and I imagine you would probably need some time to pack, I'd like to request if my team and I should stay over here the night. We talk over the finishing details, get to meet some of the dogs, and then head back to the ship in the morning.
This is amenable to me. I have plenty of space. Only dogs. So, more than welcome to stay.
I'll look at everyone else and see if that's okay for everyone.
Sebastian looks slightly uncomfortable at the prospect of sleeping around so many animals, and also in this strange Russian individual's house, but sort of he's picking off little hairs off of his suit and sort of distastefully whenever he's not looking, and then as soon as he looks again, we'll just sit very polite. And as soon as he turns, we're picking them off again. So he looked not too keen on the idea, but he kind of smiles.
You pick it up and you look down, and there's like a dog on its back, like looking up at you.
Oh dear. He says and kind of pulls up his sleeve, and then we'll reach out and kind of pat it very sort of reluctantly almost.
Yeah.
I think, yes, we can stay. That will be delightful.
He's not gonna psychology check you. He thinks everyone loves dogs. So he's been like, good, I will. I have not had dinner yet. I hope you like food.
Kangaroo burgers?
Oh, well, kangaroo pierogies.
Close enough.
I'm in.
That's
I'm also
fine.
in.
I might mind spotted dick as well if you have it. That's a dish.
Kinda looking
That's
at you.
a dish.
It's
a Russian dish.
He's making sure because you're not Russian. That's what you're asking for. He goes, I have some in cupboard.
Brilliant. It's been a while.
Yes.
And so he will cook some food. He just gives like a whistle, and you see like out there's like these big windows looking out over the outback basically, or his dogs are just kind of running around and playing. And then as soon as they hear this whistle, they'll all come up to the porch and sit down in front of like food bowls. And they sit there until he comes out and he gives them all, scoops of food. He gives a couple of them on the inside. They each get a pierogi as well. Seems that those are maybe more pets than trained sledding dogs. But they're all very well trained. He has 2 guest rooms that you guys can stay in for the evening. They've got big bear pelts on top of them that you guys can kind of scoot off because it's really warm. And one of them actually has a stuffed grizzly bear in the corner, just kind of sits there.
Fascinating.
One of the yeah. And yeah.
I was going to say Sebastian was going to, he'll be pouring himself some of the vodka every now and then and taking a shot. And we'll, as he sort of drinks a bit more and gets used to the dogs and starts petting them without caring about the incredible amount of hair he's getting on his suit, he will essentially ask, oh, I hope you've got plenty more of this as well, actually. We were planning on getting some reserves, but...
Do I have plenty of vodka? He opened up, a couple cupboards, the cupboards right next to the stove for the food. He walks to the other side of the kitchen and opens up a cupboard, and it's just puddles of this unlabeled vodka.
Brilliant. Yeah, Sebastian will nod and just kind of look at it with very bright eyes and just go, I think I'll enjoy you on this expedition.
You seem in good company.
Indeed.
Everybody drinks and coffee, and I don't know what made a weird noise in my room. Sorry, I heard a little boink. Weird. All right, I'm gonna assume it's the cat. But
so as we go throughout the night, there, I'm gonna walk through with Bjornsson here and just help guide him on. Look at the equipment that he has. help him make sure he gets his equipment packed and guide him on what he'll need. And
he seems to be pretty on top of it. He's actually got like a bug out bag in one of his rooms that he just takes some things out of and packs with him.
What the fuck does he have that?
You don't spend 2 winters in Siberian gulag and not pack bug out bag. So
that's what I wanted to see too. How well he was prepared and what
he's
equipment.
extremely well prepared for apparently multiple climates. There's like a desert bug out bag. There's like a snow bug out bag. He's prepared. He's got snowshoes like hanging up on the wall that he can just pull off. Like it doesn't snow here in this part of Australia, but he's got everything at hand.
Can I just have a look around just in case this guy is using this some kind of like free escape method?
Sure, give me a spot hidden check.
I just want to leave the country for no reason.
I'm
communist spy. No, 29.
29, yeah. It's 30.
You look around. You see that there's no guns in the house, but there are a couple of you look underneath the dining room table. There's a big Bowie knife underneath there. There appears to be a machete next to the back door. But also there's a trash can underneath it, and in the trash can there's just 4 snake skeletons. It's Australia, man. You gotta come into your house all the time, especially the 30s. So, you look around a little bit, and you do find one newspaper clipping. Kind of open up a little drawer, and there's a newspaper clipping from. You can't read it because it's in. You think it's in Norwegian, but it shows a picture of him looking much younger, with a lady bundled up in snow gear with a bunch of dogs, and they're holding some kind of a word.
Okay. Put that in the old mind bank, and yeah. I'll say this to whoever's backstage, probably around. I'll be like, this individual has a lot of knives.
Baxter's just not even phased. Yeah.
That's
okay. Let me ask a follow-up question. How big of a knife are we talking?
That thick.
Is that thick?
Yeah, like that. Quite
serrated or sharpened?
Had a thick serration on it, yeah.
Homemade or store-bought?
Most probably bought. Didn't look ramshackled.
Oh, okay. So it's not a complete loon.
Just saying, there's a lot of knives. I'm going to be spending a night with this place.
In another room, while you guys are talking about that, he's showing Hunter, he's packing some stuff, and he's like, and this knife I made from large elk antler when we found it when we were traveling through northern area of China.
Yeah, we're comparing knives separately.
Yeah.
I bring mine out, and it's not Bowie knife size, just slightly smaller, but it's more sleek. Yeah, slightly smaller, sleeker, and it's definitely handmade, homemade. And it's got bison. It's got a bison bone handle, highly polished, and the handguard on it. And I carry it in a sheath, which is bison skin. And so yeah, we're comparing knives, and I'm showing.
Yeah, he's got his reindeer antler one. It's got a shorter handle than you'd think, but it's very girthy. It looks more kind of like a maybe something to just cut, an emergency cutting knife. Cut a harness loose or something.
I'm gonna say if I'm still witnessing all of this, visible concern. He'd be sat like kind of sinking back into his seat, occasionally stroking.
You're
the dog.
sinking back in, like, I imagine you've moved to an armchair at this point,
Yeah.
like with having some vodka, and there's like a dog, that's like kind of like he wants to be a lap dog, but he's massive, and so like his front paws and head are on your lap.
Pat. He'll be getting used to that by now. But the knife measuring contest, he's sort of bit
And
worried
you're
about.
seeing that because you're sitting there, and then you hear Hayden and Baxter talking about, like, they're just in different planes of sight, and you're like,
It's just you and me in purgatory, it seems, dog. He says as he'll kind of pat it. Yes. He kind of gives it a bit of a scrat and I go, could you please move your head? I need to go and see the other two.
he kind of just, like, gently nudge, and he scoots off, but he follows you, he likes you now.
Yeah, he's grown fond of this dog, despite himself, and we'll walk in to go and see the other two with their concern of homemade knives, kind of having the dog follow him and probably covered in hair by now. As
Yeah, it's a pure white husky dog.
yes, his white and black suit. As he'll walk in and sort of look at them. So I think this is the better place to be. Hunter and our new friend are comparing the knives that they have made from creatures' bones.
Oh, good. We were just talking about. We found a particular knife, right, Hayden?
Yeah, it was on the table. It was quite big.
Not. Was it like just there, or was it like taped there?
I think it was sheathed. It was kind of like fixed, so you could like reach under and slide out. It was smartly crafted, actually.
He has a knife attached to the bottom of his table.
You know, home security.
Oh,
I mean, it was kind of done where like you would be sitting down, and then you would reach under, like you would having a conversation with someone.
right. Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. So when are we heading out? Is it morning yet?
You look outside, it's like pure pitch black. I mean, you can see the stars really well from where you're at, but it's very dark outside at this point.
Yeah, he'll kind of
You
look
judge
out
it by
and
the
like,
moons and the stars. No.
we're so going to die, aren't we?
I'm sure it'll be all right.
I don't want to be made into
We
a
need to
knife.
give you a knife under your pillow.
I'll make a very poor knife.
Don't put yourself down. Be a very stylish knife.
Thank you, Hayden. That slightly makes me feel a little better.
We'll make sure the handle's like a syringe.
Now you're just getting comedic.
I can't help it.
Are you going to draw that later? A bit macabre, but I'd be interested
I still
see
need to
what-
draw your little conversation around the porch this morning.
The what?
Sorry. It's getting late, can you tell?
Yes, I feel it. And yet the night is so young.
Oh, getting
How
deep,
much have
doctor.
you had to drink?
How much have you
couple
had
of
to
bottles.
drink?
Probably 2 by now. not too much.
It's
enough to be a bit tipsy.
vodka.
Nice. 2, 3 maybe. More later. If I'm going to die, I don't want to feel it.
Well, I mean, if you won't die, don't worry, we're fine. If anything, we have Hunter here, and I mean, seeing as how they're measuring knives, I think they'd be more excited to test them out than have a shooting contest. So you'll be
I
fine.
don't think you telling me that they're willing to test out their knives is a very calming thing to say, Hayden, but I appreciate the effort.
Kind of pulling at straws here.
Understandable. I have a friend now,
So,
he says, and kind of pats the dog.
Yeah. Just pants and
Are you
looks up
sure you
happily.
said this is a much safer room to be in? Because you got 2 comics here.
Well, you're both hilarious. Your comic
Thank you.
styling. You should make a duo when you go back to New York.
What do you think, Hayden?
Well, I mean, if my memoirs don't do very well, I guess I could always fall back on my other suave talents as comedy is.
You could be called the Sketchy Pilots.
And did I tell you I played jazz flute, by the way? Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyway, thank you for calming my nerves somewhat. I appreciate it. I just didn't know how to be one there. Large knives make me uncomfortable.
Well, I know that feeling. I've sadly seen a fair few in my day.
I cannot say I have, but I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, it's like growing up in London.
Oh, yes, of course, London, yes.
Come on, there's just nothing like growing up in New York. Come on.
Well...
And at this point, Olaf reemerges from talking with Hunter. They're done comparing knife sizes and knives now. He walks up to you, goes, "All right, well, I am early to bed, early to rise, so I will be hitting the hay, as you say. Here is 1 guest room, 2 guest room, and of course, always is couch. Very nice couch. Also, outhouse is that way," and he points out, you see there's an outhouse. "Make sure you take a dog with you. Make sure, because if dog comes with you, he'll make sure no rattlesnake gets you."
Oh, delightful. Even the toilets try and kill you here.
Yeah.
It seems Snowball is taking great liking to you. It's good.
Snowball?
Delightful name. Snowball is a brilliant dog, by the way. Best dog.
He looked like little puff of snow when he was puppy.
I see.
Awesome. I love it.
It's a delightful
All right.
name.
Well, have a good night. And he kind of goes off, kind of ducks into his room and closes the door. Oof.
Is that adorable?
All right, gents. Got a couple hours. I suggest you get some rest. Once we get to Antarctica, rest is going to be hard to come by. Also enjoy the warmth, because there won't be any where we're going.
Right. Speaking of
And
warmth,
Hunter will exit the house, and nobody sees him for a couple hours.
I was going to ask
Okie dokie.
about warm clothes.
All right. So, guessing each one of you takes a bed. One of you takes the couch, unless, double bunking up. But who takes the couch?
Want to be in all this?
Yeah. Basically, who takes the couch?
I think the doc needs a bed, so I'll take the couch.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I see the doctor just barging the door.
The doctor will be like,
"No, guys, we're getting in here."
If you want to be like head to toe or something, that's fine by me. I don't want to be alone.
What, doctor?
Yeah, Snowball.
I mean, you don't
Snowball.
have to. Snowball calms his nerves.
Just wake up and Snowball's tucked into the bed next to you.
That's fine. He's okay with that.
Yeah, he just burrows under the blankets. Massive dog. Alright, so the next morning arrives. Everyone wakes up to the sound of breakfast cooking and coffee being brewed. It's crack at dawn, and Olaf is humming a song, and he's scrambling just a ton of eggs. A few dozen eggs. He's just scrambling them up. He gives you guys some, and then he gives the rest to the doggos for breakfast. And he'll pick out a few. He actually disappears for a little bit, and he comes back with some teenage kid. He's like, "This is neighbor. He'll be taking care of dogs that are not coming with. Well gone." And he gives him a small pamphlet of dog care instructions, and reiterates it to the kid 4 times before you leave. And then he picks out 18 dogs. He has agreed to a price of 1,500, and him going with the dogs for the voyage to Antarctica. So, which is a very reasonable rate. You're sensing he's really wanting to check out Antarctica. So
Leave the country.
Well, he already left the country. He needed to leave.
At some point, when he goes and gets the kid, I'm gonna nudge the doctor there, and just as a final,
Covered in fur.
in my brain here, in my mind, Doc, I've seen types like Bjornsson here quite a bit, so I don't have any discrepancies or any worries. What's your read?
I'll be honest, I was rather shook the previous night. I did not really get a good read on him. I was too busy worrying about the sheer amount of knives in this individual's home. That is more my fear. But it seems he's fine, and Snowball is adorable, so I think he's good. But I will give him an official reading when we get back. Perhaps I can sit with him and have a few drinks and try and glean more on the individual before we set off, if that would be acceptable.
You could definitely do it on the train.
Even better, I could do it on the train, whilst you eat your scorpions.
Yeah, I'll pat him on the shoulder. Good, excellent. Just let me
Hunter.
know. You're quiet. Yes.
I do actually have a request, however. You see, I was wondering if you could help me procure some warmer clothes for where we are going. Of course, there is the Arctic gear, but I'm wishing to get something private as well, something for myself, tailor-fit, so to speak. Something that would be my own, rather than just of the cruise. I was wondering if you could help me with that, and perhaps a knife or a firearm would be good. I'm not really good with fisticuffs, so just in case.
There's a look of pleasingness across this hunter's face. For you, Doc, absolutely. I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
asked.
I might also need you to show me how to work it. I can't really say I've ever used a gun or anything like that. Mainly scalpels for me.
Easily done.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Now, does Bjornsson have a truck? Because we're not going to get all these dogs into a taxi.
No, he just says, it's short walk, it's only a mile. We will walk to train station.
I'm down with that.
And he has none of his dogs on a leash. As they all just follow behind you guys. And you guys...
Is there a way
Yeah.
for me to like call a cab?
Yeah, you can call a cab.
Yeah, I'm gonna call a cab. No walking.
Okay. Anyone who wants to ride in the cab may do so, but he is going to walk to the train station.
I'll
Pierce
try
doesn't have a
taking the cab.
vehicle. Alright.
I'm a city boy.
Alright. So just Baxter and Hunter walking with Olaf and the doggos. Alright. Yes, walk. It's fairly cool as it is still like the sun's still kind of rising a little bit. You get to the train station and he has a very harshly worded conversation with the ticketeer as far as getting the dogs on the train and not in the cargo area. He's like, no, they sit in the regular area. They are very well trained. See, sit, and they all just. He's like, they'll be fine. It's good. He basically intimidates his way into having the dogs on the passenger section of the train rather than the cargo section.
This man is absolute gold, but stay with him more.
Wonder if he can get us to first class.
He's not quite able to get that with 18 dogs, but he is able to get all 18 dogs into the passenger section. And you're more than welcome to do a psych exam on him if
Yes.
you'd like. All right.
Certainly will.
Yeah. So he'll be sitting like right across from you. Snowball be sitting next to you, like in the seat. 16.
60.
60. Is that a success?
Which is a pass. Yes, success.
Okay. All right. So, with pass, you're able to tell that he is very attached to these dogs. He is. These dogs are his life, his children. he's very devoted to them, and he's also seen some stuff. And you can tell just from like when he enters a train, you kind of see him. He scans everything before he sits down. He's not like blindly walking into. His personality's kind of that, a little bumbly, a little, but his eyes are very sharp, and he is observing everything that's going on.
Yeah, do I notice anything that's more concerning than that at all?
No, he seems very calm, other than just very observant, calm, observant, and very attached to his dogs.
That's fine. He'll be writing it down and just sort of be like, so what age were you when you found your love for dogs?
Oh, well, that would be when I was locked out, when I accidentally got locked outside of Babushka's house. And stray dog, yeah, it was very cold, and so I slept with stray dog next to house and kept warm. Took in a stray dog next day.
That sounds like a lovely story.
Babushka thought I was dead, but she was very happy to see me alive next morning.
Which is always a bonus. And when did you start studying them? Raising them in such a large quantity?
Well, I was, let's see, very still child, teenager, 14 or so.
I see. What drove you to...
profession. People needed sled dogs to get to places.
Of course, of course.
Not always clear roads in Russia.
I've heard. And I must ask as well, so why did you retire?
Well, dog sledding is not easy profession. I am getting a bit on in years, so to speak. So I've seen most of world, at least snowy areas of world.
Especially
no longer have family in Norway. Russia, not great. So decided one day, I throw dart at a map. As long as it's not Russia, I go to dart on map and retire. It hit Australia. Almost missed map entirely, but it hit something, so.
Brilliant.
I've been trying it out. It's not bad. Very warm, though.
Incredibly so. Very dangerous, too, it seems. Everything here is out to kill you.
It's just different type of dangerous.
True,
Dogs are
true.
great against it, though.
Very well. And what do you wish to get out of this expedition, aside from seeing Antarctica, of course? Are you just to return here afterwards, settle down more?
Probably settle back down. I think I've got one more good journey left in me. And I've never been. Must complete all snowy areas of world. No one else can say that.
Very true, and I, for one, would be very happy to have you along. Your expertise is very much sought after. We will no doubt benefit greatly from it. One other thing as well, speaking on settling down, I've noticed you're alone. Do you not have any wish to find a partner?
Well, I did have partner at some point, but then, well, I was living in Russia at the time.
I see.
And revolution happened. We tried to go. Mother was Norwegian, father was Russian, lived in Russia. They would not let her into Norway as we tried to leave country. So we stayed well, things did not go well.
That is unfortunate to hear.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
At least you have all of your dogs, however.
The kind of ruffles Snowball's head a little bit. They are very good, though.
Snowball is delightful, by the way. Brilliant dog.
He's a very friendly one.
Yes, seems it. Well, thank you very much. That's all of my questions.
All right, yeah. I'm sure we have plenty of time to talk more on boat, as there is no sledding to do on boat.
Indeed. He smiles, and then he will take out his notepad and begin just writing some things down idly.
Yeah.
He'll give Hunter a nod, however.
Mm-hmm. You get the impression he was on the losing side of the Russian Revolution.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, he seems pretty chill dude, just very likes adventure. You get back to the boat. His dogs seem to have no problems with The doggo is already on board. He in fact offers to give Miss Jameson some tips on dog sledding, as he's been doing it for a good 40 years.
She's feeling better, by the way.
Yeah, she's feeling better. It was just a little food poisoning. She didn't get the kangaroo burger, and it just didn't do well. So she should have had a kangaroo burger, and she would have been fine. She went with
First mistake.
something else. Yeah, she's feeling better by the time you get back, and he's offering to give her some tips. Maybe mansplaining a little bit, but she seems to be enduring it, as he is a wealth of information. She kind of is actually like, oh, really? To a couple of things he says, like some things he's had from just years and years and years of experience. That they seem to get along pretty well. And within a couple of days, is there anything else anyone would like to get from Australia before heading south? As the police seem to be kind of wrapping up their investigation, their report.
I believe a couple of them wanted to go find some firearms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough to do. You're able to get rifles, pistols, or shotguns here.
I'll get a couple of pistols.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what Baxter's carrying, if he's got one. If he does, it'll probably be on his manifest list, but I didn't check those.
Baxter's not carrying, but he is skilled with a firearm, both pistol and shotgun and rifle.
Well, the invitation will be made if you want to tag along and come along with us. And we'll secure everyone some pistols.
Okay.
The chambered rounds, not magazine fed.
Mm-hmm. Because of the cold.
Yeah, get some proper pistols. Also, I'll see if I can find maybe a couple of smaller pistols, like a 38 special size, something for smaller hands.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're able to find that
for our ladies.
Yep. Not a problem.
And then Sebastian's clothing gear. Mm-hmm. Get him squared away with that.
There's plenty of seamstresses. They're able to whip something out real quick.
What's the damage on those pistols, by the way?
The damage on a pistol is typically 1d10 or 1d10 plus 2, depending on the kind of pistol you have. So,
I will recommend everyone with the 45s, because that's the ammo that we brought along, and mine is 1d10 plus 2.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. 45 would be 1d10 plus 2.
Sebastian might mention. Sorry, I was going to say, I think Sebastian might mention that he has done some clay shooting, some clay pigeon shooting when he was younger, so would be a little better with a rifle, perhaps.
Rifle. Yep. Easily enough obtained. So you'd be able to get a rifle, and a rifle does a different damage. I can let you know for sure what it is later, but let me see if I have it on my quick reference.
I've got 2d6 plus 4 for mine.
Yeah. Depends on the rifle. Rifle tape. So, yeah, I've got a bunch of equipment, but it's giving me the costs, not the damage, so. Oops. I've got, I actually got a keeper screen with, like, handy charts and everything on it, but I forgot to put it in this room today, so. 'Cause I bought it a couple days ago.
Also, I think we're at the 20 retweet thing.
20 retweets, woohoo! Well, currently, we hit our goal for the last stream, so this one's now, the goal is 30. So.
Get those retweets in.
Get them in. Alright. So you're able to get weapons for everybody. You're able to get ammo for them. Pack it all up on ship. There's a bunch of kangaroo burgers that are delivered, burger patties. Just gotta grill them up on board.
I'm also gonna take some extra thermalware.
Extra thermalware? Yeah, it's not a problem to buy some. Get some even custom made for you guys to fit really well. If you'd like anything else, last call. Gear, equipment, supplies. Nope. Maybe.
Alcohol. Lots and lots of alcohol. Before we go, for sure.
Easy enough. You can get like a case. A couple cases of whatever type of liquor you'd like.
Bjornsson brought a couple of vodka.
Oh, he brought some of his own vodka.
Good. Okay.
Was there anything that we needed, Linda, that was like said or anything like that that was like sabotaged or something that like
the sabotaged equipment
that's all
was getting replaced. Some camp radios, trail radio, some generators, 3 generators, and 12 tons of food. Those were getting replaced. Moore was doing a lot of that work for you guys. But if you all are ready to go, you can head out down to Antarctica if that's all you guys want. So,
dogs and guns and alcohol. Are we in Texas?
Yes.
Desert.
It is a desert.
As we're walking up the gangplank, last ones, I'll put my hand on Baxter's shoulder, stop him for a moment. You know, she's still back there. We've got a little time. It's going to be 3 months. I'll pack him on the shoulder and then walk on. Let him think.
The Baxter's has the pistol rifle and ammo, and it's just like, Otter, I can't carry this if I go back.
I got it.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
I'll put it on. Throw it over my shoulder, walk on board.
All right. So you go to Sheila's shack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real find.
I'm blushing a little bit because you got me good there, Jim. God dang it, you're playing my characters to his heart.
Yeah, she's sleeping, and it's like morning, and good morning, and she's still sleeping. She was probably out late the last night and running around Chinatown. She's happy to see you. She invites you inside for a cup of morning coffee. And some breakfast.
He just happily takes the coffee, and it's like, well, we're going to be going off to our expedition soon. And I want to give an apology. I did not give you a proper goodbye.
Oh, well, if you want to give me a real proper goodbye, it might take a couple of hours.
See, do I have that kind of time? No, seriousness, I do. You're beyond the nicest woman I ever met, and I really wanted to give you proper thanks. Really?
You're a white gentleman, aren't you? I think you got time. I mean, they're not going to leave you. He's a photographer.
It's just again, it's just the way my father taught me. Never deny a request of a pretty lady.
All right, then. Let's see you not deny a whole lot of requests right here. And she kind of drags you into the bedroom, and the scene fades to black.
Yes. Gosh dang it, Jim. We got Master good. We got Master good.
Right. So Baxter returns to the ship a few hours later. His hair's all messed up.
Cigarette, Baxter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have matches and everything. You'll take out a match, strike it, and light it.
Are you right here?
They are.
My man.
Nice kind, I've heard. They're very good. I've got a few boxes, actually.
Oh, nice. Keep those.
Had a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Good. He says, and he pat you on the back slightly. And then won't ask any more questions. He'll just have us.
I guess I'm gonna have to take you guys off for coming back after this expedition.
Well, I mean, it would be delightful, actually. Maybe perhaps as a celebration, we all come back here and have some more fun in the bars and more kangaroo burgers and more Sheila.
And again, you see his face is just bright red.
Look at him lean against the railing and
More
just
of that.
smile at you a bit. Definitely. Well, I'm glad you've had fun here, Baxter.
Yeah. How are you feeling, by the way?
I'm all right. It's a lot to be going here, the Antarctic for me, but I'm very interested to see what it's like, and the company could not be better. It's good to escape
Definitely,
New York.
No kidding. It's grateful to be away from deadlines for a change.
Yes, deadlines. I set my own, so I haven't had those in years, but I can understand that. I remember when I was studying, it was hellish.
You're like, yeah, like a university or something?
Yes, university. Cambridge, to be exact.
Oh, Cambridge. Nice. I never said I didn't really go to university. Really self-taught.
Understandable. Well, you're self-taught and you're doing very well for yourself, Baxter. I also don't believe there's many cartoonist courses where I came from.
Well,
It would be delightful, though. I wish there were. That would be great.
yes, definitely. My father kept pushing me to be an investigator. Said
Yes.
I had a knack to look at people, figure them out. Definitely,
It's a good knack to have.
yeah, but I didn't just want to just be another tool in his business, so tried finding what I'm good at. Eventually, fought in the war. The field medic had to be sent back. Dare not say why. And essentially, I needed an escape. I wanted to get away from Oregon. I wanted to get away from my dad. And essentially, there's one thing that I knew what to do. Knew how to draw.
Oh, you're damn good at it. And for what it's worth, your father's mutton chops, whilst magnificent, do not exactly reflect the man, it seems.
yeah.
Now, I look forward to this, Baxter. Perhaps we may talk and you may show me more of your art sometime. I would love to see what you've come up with since we've started this travel.
Yeah, just some work in progress for now, but in good time, I'll definitely let you know, Doctor. Thank you.
Indeed, and if you ever want to play cards, let me know. I'd be happy to supply the
Oh, heck
cards,
yeah.
and we could all have some bets. I'm interested to see how Hayden and Hunter would do with that, and of course, well, everybody else when we get them back.
Definitely.
All right. So, as talk of cards and gambling on the ship, Mr. Starkweather, of course, has a big speech as you guys pull out of Melbourne Harbor and you get sent out, and you guys head off to the Antarctica. I'm
gonna do one
Yes.
thing. We don't need to like play it out or anything. But I do want to get to the captain's area and go back on the radio and kind of ask for like time for myself, and then run down everything that happened to my agent.
She's updated and informed. All right. So, ship goes down south. South. It gets colder and colder by the day. And also, the closer you get to Antarctica, the stormier it gets. It's not, you guys are kind of headed up early for the season. You're kind of gambling on the bad weather in order to have more time on Antarctica itself. Your goal is to get to the Ross Sea before, or like right as the storms are ending, and so you have as much nice weather as possible rather than waiting for the nice weather and losing valuable time. So, one night, as you guys are getting closer to Antarctica, it starts storming really bad, and I need everyone to give me listen checks.
But I'm actually good at that. He said, "Where's my listen? Listen. Okay. I get
44?
44. I pass. It's a 50.
Woo! All right, so 2 passes. All right. Oh, you got past 2? 3 passes.
Yes.
All right. So the 3 of you, let's see, I believe it's Hayden and, gosh, my Baxter. It's like, I wanted to say like Dexter. I was like, that's not right. I know it's Baxter. Hayden Baxter, you're in your room. And then Hunter and Sebastian, you're in your room. And 3 of you hear a loud boom. And then it's so loud it wakes you up, and then you hear thunk. I would like intelligence checks from the lot of you, those who heard it.
I know what that is. Int, okay. That's another good stat of mine.
It's also known as an idea roll, because they're great.
20. Was that say 21?
26, 21?
Yeah.
All right. Did all 3 of you pass?
80.
No. All right. So, 1 person in each room. That's pretty convenient. So, Hayden and Hunter, you guys realize as you hear this thud, slight scraping thud, that sounds like something really heavy has gotten loose in one of the cargo holds and is slunking around. And the only thing you can think of that's that heavy, that's like just strapped down, would be some of the airplane engines.
My baby.
That's what you
I'm up and racing down the hallway. Towards
Yeah,
the hole.
same. I'm just getting up and going. I'm taking my gun with me that I sleep with, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Sebastian. Wait, what? Never mind, and then we'll follow him.
I'm just gonna like jump out of bed, because Baxter's. I think I'm in the same room as Baxter. Like slap the top bunk and be like, "The plane!" I'm gonna like run out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy with those idea checks. You figure out, you realize which cargo hold this is in, and you head down there, and you see sliding around. You had a bunch of the engines like strapped down to the deck, bolted in with the straps. Here's that. 2 of them have broken free for one of the Boeings, and it's sliding around. It's like denting crates. These are massively heavy, and with the boats rocking and swaying, like the boat's been pretty still this whole time, but it is nasty storm outside. You think if these engines aren't secured soon, that it's just going to cause even more damage. What do you guys do?
You said Baxter came along?
Yeah.
Baxter, go get Mouse, quickly.
And he just guns out.
Yeah, go find
All
Mouse. We need that guy. And where was Bjornsson staying? Did he
Bjornsson, he got a room. He's now sharing with the other mess boy, because that was an empty spot, and the other mess boy is pretty small, so it doesn't pick up all that space. Like if he and Mouse were in the same room, they would not. It would be bad. They'd be like barely able to squeeze in. So because these are very small quarters, so he's sharing the room with the other mess boy.
All right. Send Sebastian to go get Bjornsson very quickly, as fast as you can.
Very well. We'll do. He says, and we'll get jogging.
Okay.
All right. So what hold is this? We're in.
This would be in
4?
Yes, 4, which would be the where Boeings are. Engines just
All right.
with each sway of the ship. Think if
So
it goes on
how
for
mu-
too long, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. How much space do we have to play with in here?
There's actually a
size.
good bit of space, as the only thing in the cargo hold 4 is basically the plane stuff, which most of it's crated up. There's 2 engines per plane, and each of them, so there's 4 engines total. 2 of them are still strapped down and secure. The other 2, one looks like it's snagged on its tie down a little bit, so it's not sliding as much, but the other one's sliding all over the floor, hitting crates, hitting other engines potentially.
All right, look at the other ones that are secured. Are they they're fully secured? We want to make sure that they don't break loose.
They don't look like they're going anywhere. They are solid. They're not even hardly shifting.
Good, okay. Where would they keep extra straps at down here on the ship?
There's tons of rope. It's right next to you. There's rope, there's straps, there's tie downs, it's everywhere on this ship.
All right. I'll grab a coil of rope, slap it to Hayden, and say, make a knot, make a hook, make something. We're gonna have to lasso this sucker.
Right, and I'll tie it to like one end of like the room and like so like secure to like the wall and like try and lasso it. So I've done that.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to try to dash to the other side when I see an opening, so that I can try to secure it from the other side.
All right, give me a luck roll to cross the room without anything sliding into you.
Oh, could be luck or dexterity.
It's gonna be a luck roll, and then if you don't pass your luck roll, then it'll be a dex check. See to dodge out.
All right.
There was a surprising amount of information on this little thing in the book. I was like, oh, okay, this is very detailed. So.
That is a fail.
Okay,
No
now
luck.
roll me a dex check.
All right. I should get this one.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So you are, you don't take any damage as you were able to just dash out of the way, but it's just you could feel the air moving as it like slides past you. As it's not moving in like it's not just moving back and forth. Like the ship's kind of rocking all over, so it's unpredictable in where it's shifting. But you're able to dodge out and get to the other side of the room, no problem. Just
all right. So we're trying to make tie downs, make some. I'm making a monkey fist on the end of this rope, which is just a knotted mass of rope.
Yeah.
And a knot is secured off, and I'm going to try to snag one of the tie downs on the pallet there.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
All right. So you're gonna try to snag one of the engines.
Try and lasso that thing.
Give me throw checks, please.
I've got a little bit in that, not much. Let's see what I can do. Yes.
Oh, hey. I did terrible.
All right. 51 and a 24. So, Hunter, you succeed?
Correct.
Hayden?
No.
Okay. You never know. You never know. So, you're able to snag it, Hunter. You think now that it's snagged, it's going to be easier to control, but you're going to need some strong people. You can try to start slowing it down if you'd like to make me a strength check.
Yeah, I'm yelling.
You're not going to be able to
Try
stop it by
again.
yourself.
Try again. Keep trying.
I don't know what
I've
it's
got
trying like.
this. Yeah, I've got this secured to the floor as an anchor.
Okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
trying to get this thing here. And you said strength?
Yep, give me a strength check. See if you can slow it down. Because it's careening all over the place.
Nope.
All right.
Not that time.
So you're able to lasso it, and you're able to tie it down to one of the rings on the floor, but it you lose grip of it. You're gonna have to re-grip it, but it is lassoed, and it's not as careeny as it was. At this point, Sebastian and Baxter, you would have been able to find the large, strong people you were looking for, and tell them that they're needed in the cargo hold 4, and they start running down there. All right, Hayden. One of them appears to be lassoed. The other one is kind of just at the end of its thing. You think that one might be easier to lasso and tie down. Or you can keep trying on this one that's kind of still wildly going around.
So you said that again, you broke up there for a second.
Okay, sorry. So there's the one that's kind of half-tethered and it's sliding around a little bit. And then there's the one that's still kind of sliding all over the place. You think it'd be easier to lasso the one that's just kind of half-tethered still. And if you wanted to make me a throw check, excuse me, I don't know where that came from. On that one, you would get a plus 20%.
Okay, nice. I'll do that one, even though I probably will still fail. yes, I feel. 61.
All right. Not quite. You are not able to make it. It's hard to throw rope if you're not used to throwing ropes. And
I hit Hunter in the face by accident.
Hunter. All right, Hunter. At this point, you can give me another strength check, as it's not hard to pick back up the rope and try to slow it down again. Oh, a 99. Not quite a. But it's real. It's not good. Get some rope burn on your hands.
No, I'm not going to use that yet. Okay, yeah.
You just get some rope burn in your hands, and at this point, it's a few rounds in. Mouse and Olaf have entered in. They're
I'll
like,
yell at
Mouse is
them.
like,
Try to direct them to the opposite corners.
mm-hmm.
Grab this thing as soon as you can.
Olaf's gonna be like, all right then. Oh, these are very large. All right, these airplanes. Not really been on a plane before, so. And Mouse is just like, all right, I'll do my best. You're still yawning. Olaf appears ready. So they're gonna see how they do across the room. This is for Olaf. Oh, Olaf. And then Mouse. Mouse is fine. Olaf has to make a dex check. Oh, Olaf gets hit by the one that's kind of careening around a little bit, and he takes some damage as it kind of hits him. It doesn't do the full amount of damage because you have slowed it a little with the rope. The Mouse is going to try to help you with the one that's already tied that you've got, Hunter, and so I would need you to make me another strength check, and he's going to try to pull it in as well.
All right, I'm yelling at him to coordinate.
Yeah, he's coordinating.
All right. On 3. I think, yep, I'm going to use 4, I'm going to use 5 luck points.
Okay.
And secure that one.
If it's 70, you only need to spend 4. It just has to match.
It just has to match? Okay. Then, yeah, let's do 4 luck points. Brings me down to
4 luck
46.
All right. With his extreme success and your success, you're able to stop this engine. Someone else is going to have to tie it down as it's taken both of you guys just sitting there holding it. So Hayden or Olaf will have to come in, or anyone can come in and tie it down, but you guys have stopped it.
We got it! Somebody grab some more ropes, quickly!
Alright, who wants to tie it down?
I can do that. I was on I'm like,
Alright.
bro.
Give me a luck check. As there is one that's still kind of drifting around a bit.
What do I roll for it?
Whatever your, let's see. 73, what's your luck? Yeah.
Does luck ever, like, replenish, or...?
It can.
Okay, so, again, so at the moment it's 50, so now.
So no, okay. Alright, so, roll me a dex check, then.
Okay,
See
now
if
I'm
you're-
gonna pass it. I have, like, 90 dex.
Oh yeah, 12.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to
9.
easily dodge it as it kind of slips out to you, and you're able to get down and start tying it down. Olaf is going to assist with tying down. He's kind of in that area, and then there's one more left. It's kind of half tied down, so it's going to be easier to get a hold of, but I will need strength checks from those who are going to try to hold it down. That's... Mouse.
I think Sebastian will actually help with this one this time.
Okay.
Sort of being very distant for a while, and then he's like, I should help, and then goes in to help.
Okay. Yeah.
So, with a mighty
Hunter was
90.
about it.
You're like, all right. So at least 2 of you
That's when he tells his
succeeded.
score 93.
You're able to get it stopped, and someone is able to tie it down. Give me a mechanical repair roll, Hayden, to see the condition of these engines. See if you're able to salvage them.
They're still in the
Okay.
crates. Yes.
No, the engines are not in crates. They are
guns not.
just. Mm-hmm.
Just mounted on a
They're-
pallet.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Just shunk, shunk. 31? That's a success.
13,
Or
right?
13. Yeah, 13. Is that an extreme success or just a hard success?
Yeah, because I have a 50 in it.
Okay, so gotcha. All right. So you're able to tell that the one that was half connected to its tie down is okay. You're gonna be able to fix that one. But the one that was careening all over the place, it hit too many things, and it is beyond repair. So.
Even like any spare parts or anything.
You have enough spare parts to fix the one. There's not. It's like this thing is dented to high heaven. There's a couple of components that are just broken on it.
Yeah.
These are the big
Piston.
rotator ones that the engines themselves actually spin on the front of the propeller. They're in front of the propeller or behind the propeller, but spinning, and that's what the propeller spins with is the engine.
Yeah.
So
I think
you think you're going to be down a Boeing when you get to Antarctica because you need 4 engines and you only have 3.
So I think I'm I like get like a wrench that's there and I just like slam it to the ground and it's like, son of a bitch. How did this happen?
Yeah. Start looking at the harnesses, the tie downs on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to see if they were cut.
Give me a spot hidden check.
And I'm looking at the other two to, kind of, we're thinking the same thing, so check these harnesses.
Yeah. I'll help him with that as well. With a 9.
You said spot hidden?
Hidden, yes.
Which is a extreme success.
Excellent. 13.
Success.
Excellent.
Out of 40.
So you don't see any signs of it being cut. It does look like it's frayed. So perhaps there was, you're kind of looking at the pallet that it was on, and you notice that a corner of the wood was just not sanded down enough, and you think that with the motion of the ocean and the rocking of the ship, it just kind of cut through, and then with a big shift, the weight of the engine itself, several hundred pounds each, was able to break free. So you don't see any signs of sabotage, just accident. The first actual legitimate accident, maybe, of this expedition.
I look at Hayden. Where's Joel? Isn't he supposed to be down here?
You're muted.
No, she shouldn't be watched 24/7. After we got the culprit, I thought it was fine.
Of course.
Damn it. How does this, now that this is broken, how does this kind of set us off now?
Well, it's just gonna be, you're gonna be down a plane for actual flying endeavors. There's a couple other pilots in the expedition, but you're the main one. You're gonna be down a plane. However, being down a plane means that you can use some of the repair materials for that plane and parts if something else breaks of the other two. So it's not a complete, oh no, but you're down a plane, but you have extra fixing parts now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just kind of say that, and I'm just saying, well, something else happens, at least we have some spare parts, but still. Can we just catch a break?
I think if we have a talk with Starkweather, he may be able to order another one. It's going to take some time to arrive, but he could probably have it shipped to us. If we drastically are in our dire need of another engine.
I mean, that's going to take months.
Not if we radio quickly. Starkweather's got a lot of pull. He can make a lot of things happen. I've seen it.
We could try, but again, we are quite far out here. I'm wondering how much that would set us back, and we do have competition.
I didn't know we were going to an outpost either. What if we just get into where we needed to go and flying to that remote location? How would we even... We wouldn't even be able to build it.
So what's your assessment as our pilot? And
disassemble the other one, use all the spare parts we can, make sure the other ones are in tip-top condition. And Hayden's going to speak up to, like, the kind of, like, the captain and everyone else in there. And it's going to, like, have a loud voice. And it's going to be like, check all the pallets. Make sure nothing is overlooked. I want this tip-top and in clean shape.
Yeah. The crew the next... for the rest of the evening, those who aren't needed on deck to help with the ship, Joel will wake up and personally help check everything himself. Everything apparently else just looks good. It was just one little piece of rough wood on that pallet, sawed through the strapping. So.
While they're doing that, I'll go wake up Starkweather and Moore and fill them in on what happened.
Oh, Starkweather is pretty upset, but well, nothing can be done about this at this time, as we are on a timeline. Unfortunately, it appears we are down a plane, gentlemen. However, at least as Mr. Hayden pointed out, this means more spare parts for the other Boeing should something, heaven forbid, go wrong. So it's fine.
Well, then I'll get with Moore, because we're gonna have to change up the loading plans that we've got for each flight.
Indeed.
That's going to change everything from there. So.
Moore gets to the scheduler. He's like, just scratches out a whole block and starts rewriting it. Because he's had it done for like weeks now, and now he has to redo it completely. He's not happy about it, but he'll spend the next few days doing that. The storm actually lasts for a few days before it lets up. Everything else seems to be fine, though.
Hayden will be trying to fix the engine during that time.
Okay. Give me that mechanical repair roll to see how long it takes you to fix up the third engine.
Commandus.
With an 89, it's going to take you a little bit. It's not an easy process. Like, you got to kind of take it completely apart, which is a pain, and the ship keeps moving because it's a storm, and Joel's helping you, but let's see how Joel does. If he does awesome, it'll even out. Nah, it's gonna take you guys a while. He succeeds, but it's gonna take you a while to repair this. Most of your free time, for a bit. However, the storm lets up a few days later, and oh, by the way, you guys left Florence, Australia, on October 18th. It's now early November. You guys hit ice, actually, November 1st. You guys see icebergs and stuff start to kind of pop up above deck. And
are we across the Arctic Circle yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got something planned there, November 1st.
All right. So, November 1st, you hit ice, and later that day, you cross the Antarctic Circle. I know what I'm doing. Get back here, thingy. So, how do you go about it? Starkweather and Moore are getting ready.
All right, so
Starkweather's getting ready. Moore is not.
When the there's word given out that we're nearing the Arctic Circle, and so when that happens, the usual klaxon on the ship goes off, calling for an assemble, and everyone's up on one of the lower decks, that we have closer to the surface of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And you see there's Starkweather and Hunter are up on the side of the deck as everyone's approaching, and we're wearing what looks like bathrobes. Out here it's cold, and his is all stylish, of course, and mine's just one that I got from the
It
ship.
looks like a smoking jacket almost. Starkweather's.
And we're out there just laughing and joking and talking with each other as everyone's coming up onto the deck there. And when everyone comes up, Starkweather will turn to the group and everyone and give a spiel. Welcome. We've just crossed the Arctic Circle. There's going to be nothing now but ice. And so we thought we'd have a little bit of fun. And he looks to me, looks to Hunter, and so Hunter turns around, drops his bathrobe, completely naked. Looks over the side of the ship, glances back over his shoulder with a smile, and jumps overboard. Follow
All right,
me!
now, the only contingency to this is that because the water is actually -2 degrees Celsius, and so it's like 20-something Fahrenheit. Hi, Tesla. A harness is kind of put on underneath it, so they can reel you in should anything negative happen with the shock.
We coordinated with the captain and put a couple of dinghies out down below, but they don't see that. They see that. I know they're down there because we coordinated already. So Hunter, follow me, and jumps overboard.
We are doing a polar plunge, ladies and gentlemen. If you are so inclined to join, then feel free. And he's just going to boop off the back.
There's a stack of towels and bathrobes and stuff off to the side.
Hot coffee. And harnesses, should anyone wish to join the polar plunge.
We just jump off overboard.
Sebastian will look at them, and then just his eyes will widen, and he'll just look for both Baxter and Hayden, and will be like, "What's happening? Are they mad?"
I have gone completely mad. Yes, indeed. Doctor, diagnose them. Get rid of them now.
I don't think I can diagnose frostbite on the balls, but
what is Bjornsson?
It's happening.
Now I got that vision in my head. Thanks, Doc.
Bjornsson and Jameson.
Oh, Jameson, she's good. But Bjornsson is like, oh, this is great for circulation. You just have to get into hot water afterwards, or hot sauna preferably. But we make do on ship, and he's just taking off his layers. He's got like a fur coat on, and he like grabs a rope and hops in as well.
He then looks towards everyone. Looks towards Sebastian. Looks towards Baxter and just goes, Well.
No.
Right.
No.
Then he walks towards the hot coffee. See you downstairs and fucking leaves. I'm not doing that shit. No way.
Sebastian just kind of laughs and then goes, "I agree with you, actually, and I would like a coffee." He says and goes over, grabs one, and we'll actually take one of the ropes regardless, and we'll go back down below deck.
A few other crew members jump in, but a lot of them seem to want to stay warm. But some of the more adventurous take the plunge, the polar plunge, and only down there a couple minutes before getting reeled in, and immediately toweled off, hot coffee, hot planks, and sent below decks. We see several of the sailors have partaken in. Officer Turlo, actually, he joins in, just pulls off his shirt, drops his kilt, and then grabs a rope and hops in. As he's still wearing his kilt.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so,
Lois and
not
Lena,
too long.
they follow.
Who?
Lois and Lena.
I don't know
Lois
about
and
them.
Okay.
We'll find out when they get here next week.
All right.
If they took the plunge as well. But I'm curious to see what they would think about it. So we'll have to wait for them to do it as well. So the whole crew seems to be in a pretty good mood. Like those who jumped in are like pumped. Those who didn't jump in are like ha 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 ha. Well, you're cold, and like everyone got a big kick out of it. The morale has greatly improved with the few days of shore leave you had on Australia, and just seems to be doing good. You guys are making great time. You're encountering not a lot of stuff, just a lot of ice. You guys see a few whales, actually, as next near the boat, as you guys are getting into the colder territories.
Not Pierre, but
Francois Jean-Luc.
Get him up on the deck once we start seeing whales with his camera.
Yeah, he's like, oh, magnifique, the iceberg, and he's just picturesque. Oh, he's just taking pictures and snapshots. He took a couple of the polar plunge too. He's on the side, not during the plunge, but like from up top, and then drinking hot chocolate afterwards. You know those are going to be in some kind of newspaper somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like the book when it's done, as Starkweather's making a book about it, and so you guys continue for a couple of days. You actually have fair weather for a few days. It seems that the storms kind of in the area just blew through, and you're now having a few days of good weather. Not too long, though. November 6th. Who would be awake at 9 a.m.? Just out of curiosity. Everybody. Perfect. Nice and early risers. So, 9 a.m., you hear, if you're below decks, you hear some commotion kind of up on top. You're, not like, oh no, the ship's sinking, but more like you hear like interested and excited murmurs above decks.
You'll head up for sure.
Okay. Those of you who head up, you see first mate Turlo. He's got like real thick socks on and like boots and a jacket. He's still got his kilt. And he's looking through a spyglass up ahead. And he says, "Oh, good morning to you. It appears we found the Wallaroo." And he points up, and you see halfway jutting out of an iceberg what appears to be a vessel. Not as big as yours, but a ship nonetheless. And along the side it says the Wallaroo. She disappeared during a squall about last autumn. No one's found a trace of her till now. Starkweather wants to send a boarding team to see what we can find out. What went wrong?
Good.
Any of y'all interested in going?
I certainly am.
Right.
Sure.
1, 2.
I don't have to get into the water, right?
Oh no, we'll be connecting to as close as we can. Probably have to make a little jump, but you'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Oh, like pirates, delightful.
Aye. What about
Definitely
you,
go to-
laddie? And he looks over at Baxter. You want the board of the Wallaroo?
And Max is gonna look like for like confirmation from the rest of the crew. he's afraid to answer.
Yeah, he's coming with us.
Yeah.
All right. Lena is curious. She'll come aboard, and you know what? We'll say Lena and Lois are curious, and they'll come on as well, because I have a feeling that we're about to have a Lois join us very, very soon, according to the Twitters. So.
I will instruct everyone to bring your weapons. Be armed.
All right.
Doc,
Yeah.
Doc medical equipment, if you can, if you would please.
I'll bring my black bag.
Okay.
And I'm going to take one of the radios, one of our small camp radios.
Yeah, one of the
just in case.
the trail radios. Yeah.
Yeah, and tune it up to the ship radio just in case the Wallaroo's radio power isn't working.
Yes, I
All right.
light a cigarette.
All right. So, you guys light it all up. I'm going to need, in order to, like, it's not a big gangplank, but you're able to, they pull up a board to sit across, because the regular unloading, like the wide piece of wood they have, isn't long enough to reach because the iceberg kind of extends out, so it's a narrower plank. I'm just going to need dex checks for those of you who are walking across.
Yeah.
All right, what talking with Turlo, get information. What type of ship, what class of ship is this?
They were a fishing vessel.
Okay, so it's smaller than ours by like half?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's not even as many people could fit on that, for sure. Smaller vessel, you'd assume maybe 20 crew members.
Copy.
That's a fail.
That's a fail. All right. Anybody else fail? Everybody else good?
I'm good.
Good.
All right. Please make me a luck roll, Sebastian. $58. You succeed? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I've got
So-
a look at 70. Sorry, I was muted for a
Good.
second there.
No, you're good. So you kind of lose your balance for a second, and all you do is you twist your ankle on when you get to the other boat. Like, you kind of slip on the ice as, like, the end of the board, and you're going to take 2 points of damage as you've just twisted your ankle. It's not bad. You could walk on it. It'll be better in a day or two, but you just a little ow.
Yeah.
Little ow.
That hurt.
Doc, you
and let
okay?
me-
It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. Bit of ice, you know. Not got my
Right.
sea legs, you could say.
This is a smaller boat. Now, you said it was encased in ice?
It's not encased in ice. It's kind of like resting, like the bottom part is, and the back of the ship is. I've put into your images and maps the deck plan of the Wallaroo, so you can see exactly what it is I'm talking about. So,
Nice.
woo. Let me see. I got this.
Yeah, there it is.
All right. So there is the deck plan of the Wallaroo. I can make that bigger. Let's.
Interesting.
All right, and where are we entering the boat? Where
You
what
guys are
point?
kind of coming in. You're coming up on the top deck, about midships. The front end of the boat is tilted up more, and the back end appears to be kind of encased in that ice. It looks like the engine room, looks like the boiler room, the engine room, kind of had a bit of an explosion. As it's, you can kind of like, when you're crossing over, looking from your deck, you can kind of see inside of it a little bit. There's a bunch of charred, like the walls are charred and stuff. But you are on the deck of the Wallaroo.
Is the angle steep, or can we
It's
walk
not.
relatively?
You guys can walk easy. You're not gonna make any checks walking around. It's just inclined.
All right.
If you put a ball on it, it would roll downhill. But nothing's like, if you put like a box down, it wouldn't slide.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so let's start with the bridge.
All right. Ooh, hi, Tesla. So you find a kitty on the bridge. Just kidding. So you're walking along on the bridge. You're kind of walking a bit, and you spy, kind of as you're walking along, you find mishappen parts of skeletons. Their flesh is stripped bare, and frozen fluids encrust them to the wooden floor that they lie upon. I'm going to need anyone who's kind of walking along. I'm going to need a sanity check.
Oh,
As you
here we
see
go.
these several skeletons. Lois! You could give me a sanity check.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the madness. All right. Just let me know who failed.
Just in time to go insane.
Just
Oh,
in
no.
time.
I've got a sanity of 50, so I failed.
You failed. Okay.
I don't know my sanity again, sorry.
It's so whatever your power is, that's your max sanity, and then if you've lost any already, it'll be a little lower than that. It's
Okay, let me put this.
in the right hand side of your character sheet. So
quickly. Okay, I did it. 17.
nice. Yeah, you aced it. So, Just Sebastian failed. Hunter failed too. And Baxter failed.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody failed. How about Lois?
We all
Lois,
failed.
you want to look at that sanity check? I will re-describe the scene for you. So you have found the shipwreck of the Wallaroo, a fishing vessel that is partially encased in an iceberg and resting on top of it. Your team has decided to board to investigate and find out what exactly happened. And you kind of walk around the deck a little bit, and you found some moldering skeletons, misshapen parts of them. The flesh is stripped bare, and the frozen fluids encase them into the wood and crust them to the wood they lie upon. So that's the standard check.
Oh dear.
So
Yeah.
what happens when we fail?
So when you fail, you're gonna take 2 points of sanity loss. You're gonna lose 2 sanity.
Do I
Right.
take?
If you passed, no, you're good. You don't lose any sanity. It's like
Right.
gross and weird, but you're okay. Because they're not like full bodies and it's just skeletons with like kind of gross drippings on them, it's not as like gory. It's just kind of gross to you. How about you, Lois?
Fantasy Grounds is loading. Please wait.
Okay, sure thing. We'll roll yours in a minute. Right now, skeletons!
Sebastian,
Yes.
what is this?
Well, it seems to be bodies, but I will investigate more, he says, and will
Yeah.
reluctantly head over and sort of kneel down by one of them and inspect them,
Okay.
kind of looking over them. Signs of
Alright,
death.
you look over these bodies and you might find it a bit odd that they don't even have clothing. Like, no clothing even remains on these bodies. It's only been about a year. And, ice generally preserves things pretty well. So you find that a bit odd, but it's hard to say the cause of death because they're mostly skeletons. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You said the
Like,
flesh was stripped.
skeletons with you don't see any flesh on there. Just skeletons with like body fluids kind of gluing them to the floor.
Given
I've
the
seen
temperature,
skeletons in most of my science classes.
Yes, you admit you're fine. Yeah,
It was startling, but I'm fine.
good.
so looking over them with their flesh being stripped, that seems to be something of a concern for Sebastian, given the fact that it is as cold as it
You
is.
find
here.
out that there's no flesh, and there's no clothing. The no clothing's the weirdest part because like something could have come and eaten the flesh, but no clothes. Like there should be at least tatters.
Could I make a check to see if I can tell what was gnawing at them, if anything?
Give me
Like,
a medicine
muscle
check
veins.
just to kind of see if you could figure out.
So that would be a 7. That's an extreme success.
7. With an extreme success, you're looking at these, you're like, well, something could have pecked at it. Could have been like some maybe kind of like penguins, you don't know, seals, something came up. It looks like... It doesn't look like these bones have been touched. They don't look gnawed. You don't see any nicks on them, but there's absolutely no flesh. It's clean except for some, again, the iced bodily fluids. There's no intestines, no solid organs, just like the blood and other fluids that are kind of iced, glued them down to these floors. You don't know anything that would kind of
Yeah.
do something like that.
He'll
It seems
stand back-
odd,
Yeah, he'll
but
stand
it's
back
not
up.
recent. These are old, so it happened it's many months ago.
Yeah. He'll stand up and kind of look at the rest, very concerned.
How's it looking?
It's looking strange. I've never seen anything like this. Of course, the temperature here is as low as it is. The body should have been better preserved. There are a few things that are of concern to me. One of them is that the flesh has been picked clean off the bodies, but there's no sign of anything gnawing on them or anything having picked the flesh off of them. On top of that, no clothing seems like a very strange thing to me. Even if the flesh had gone, the clothing would be an entirely different thing. The fact that they're all naked and have no flesh at all in this condition is concerning.
No gun or knife wounds?
None. But then again, the flesh is gone. But none of the bones seem to reflect this. It seems almost like I don't even know what to suggest. Their flesh disappeared from them, perhaps.
Is there water on there?
No, it's dry.
How far up are we after water?
Ice. But the water, it's a good 15 feet down from the water because it's kind of like on an iceberg at this point. And the deck is, pretty high. So, like, the bottom of the ship, unless it's encased in ice, is probably touching the water. But it's a good ways off.
Hayden's going to look down over the side, look up, and just say, nothing could have come on the ship at this height. And I don't see many birds.
This is concerning. Hunter, do you have any thoughts on this, or even yourself, Lewis? I'm stumped here, and frankly, very concerned.
I'll look at Lois. The doctor here, understandably, is not used to treating patients in this type of climate. Do you have any ideas?
As far as I am concerned, this climate is relatively unexplored, a new frontier in a way, and scientifically, it doesn't make much sense.
Great.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I wish I could shed more light on it.
How many bodies are there? Can we tell?
In this area, there are 4 bodies.
4 bodies. All right.
You did see a couple charred bones in what remained of the boiler room, and you're kind of up from that vantage point. It's just like fragments, really.
The hell's
All right,
going on?
let's make our way to there next.
Okay.
Follow me.
So you guys kind of going to the aft of the ship.
We need like the captain deck on this part.
Yeah, you're kind of like you're still on top of the deck, but like you're like the little house thing on top of the boat.
Shouldn't we check that first and then make our way
That's where
down?
you guys are.
Yeah.
That's where you found these.
Oh, I see.
These 4 bodies were in the bridge, so we're going to head to the aft where it looks like there was some type of an explosion.
It does. There's charred marks all over the deck in that area, and you look down and there's a few pieces of charred bone. So apparently some person or people were in the boiler room. It's hard to tell. It's kind of...
So the ship is that part of the ship is missing?
It's very heavily damaged. It exists, but in a lot of little pieces that are kind of frozen into the ice.
All right, where's the nearest stairwell?
You can go down the nearest stairwell. It'll lead you underneath and kind of near the galley and crew quarters area.
All right, we'll head that way. I'll lead everyone there.
Okay. Also, as you kind of like lead around, like go around where the hole in the floor is on the deck down to the boiler room, you kind of see on the aft of the ship, on the other side, you see several skeletons arranged in neat rows.
Ooh, okay.
What is that?
In neat rows.
There's 2 rows of 3.
Are they clothed?
Nope.
Same condition as the ones in the bridge?
These don't have any fluids around them. These look like they were laid here.
Doc, is that natural?
No, not at all. I'm concerned perhaps there's someone else on the ship that's been taking their clothes off, moving them, arranging them, but from what the rest seemed, it almost seemed like an immediate death, and their flesh disappeared, their clothing disappeared. So this is... something had to do this. Someone had to do this. This isn't natural.
Do we know how many were lost?
You know, there was a captain, captain. First Officer Turlo said there was about 20. There'd probably be about 20 crew on the ship. He's not exactly sure. It disappeared a year ago, so he doesn't remember the exact number of crew that they had, but approximately 20.
Perhaps we should try and find some kind of paperwork, just in case. Maybe someone's been stripping the bones to survive till someone came.
Perfect.
All right, you and Hayden, you and Baxter, see what paperwork you can dig up. I'm going to go check out the aft here, and these bodies. These are the bodies we saw. The rest of us.
Very well.
Roger that.
Just 3 rows of 2
Right.
skeletons. Or 2 rows of 3 skeletons.
Stay safe. I got my radio in case you need anything.
Brilliant.
Alright, where's Lois going? Is she staying chilling with these skeletons up top, or is she going below decks to there's the galley, the mess, the crew, and the captain's quarters? You are muted.
She is going to stick with Hunter right now because this is her first day doing the kind of survivalist type thing, and he's the greatest authority she knows.
Excellent. Alright, so you 3 head below decks then, Baxter, Hayden, and Sebastian. Where are you looking? You looking in the galley, the mess, the crew, captain's quarters, cargo hold? Where are you guys looking for paperwork?
I imagine Baxter tried to go for the captain's chambers.
Okay. Captain's
I
quarters.
imagine that's where papers would be.
Good guess. Really solid guess. All right. So
I'd also check not the captain, the captain area as well, in case there was some papers in there. In case there was any drawers or anything that it might have overlooked.
okay. Yeah. So there wasn't anything on the deck in the bridge. But you enter the captain's quarters, and you see that the captain's quarters. His remains, the remains of the captain lie in the bed, fully dressed, with a pistol beside his outstretched hand. There's an empty bottle of whiskey near him on the bed as well. There also, inside the captain's quarters, there's a trunk with a padlock, a badly weathered desk, and appears to be a chair.
A chair.
Next to the desk.
Shoot it! Shoot it now!
Sanity's not that low yet. Give it time. Either way.
Why is this the only one that has clothing and in a bed? Let me check
That's,
the drawer.
All right. You're checking out the desk. Give me a spot hidden check, Hayden.
While Hayden is checking, it's like, perhaps this one of those captains is very selfish. Kept all the goods to himself. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't see anything that looks out of place in here. You don't see like piles of other people's clothes or anything.
No, nothing in the desk.
In the desk, though, I will get to it. I gotta get to my notes. Inside the desk, you find there is letters appears from the captain's family, a photo of his family, a fountain pen, and the Wallaroos logbook. It appears that the desk, while badly weathered on the outside, the drawers were lined with oiled leather, so everything on the inside was actually in really good condition. If anyone else is looking through the desk, I will also allow you spot hidden rolls.
Right. Definitely joining in on that.
Okay.
Now go for Baxter.
You find that is the last entry in the logbook of the Wallaroo.
I found what?
You found the logbook, fountain pen. Doesn't appear that anyone's found anything else.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Do you want to read that out?
I cannot see it. like on my
Cannot see
screen.
it. Oh no, okay. Well, it's also, if you're at the Fantasy Grounds, if you go to, I don't know how to share it, like pop up on your screen. If you go to Images and Maps, it says Wallaroo's last blog. You just click on it there. Rate it.
It's not coming up for me actually. I've been having trouble with
that's
Fantasy
alright.
Grounds.
You want to get
My
that
error.
out next there? Read this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
getting in
Yeah.
trouble with that.
Alright. And then the backstep takes the note and says, March 12th is over. My hand is wholly useless now. Lost to the gangrene and the red lines of infection that spread past to the... Can't pick up my arm. There's nothing to be done. My own... It's me. Passed in on and is having trouble reading it as it just goes into to him like gross detail.
Mm-hmm.
I have no Shackleton, no Mawson to face the odds to overcome them. I am merely an old tired soul who has lost the gamble and will die alone upon the ice. The horrible endless ice. It is beautiful but heartless. In these past few days, I have come to hate its cruelty. It cries, it whispers, and it moans to me in the still air, grinding hope and prayers away in the mindless hostile fury. I pray the others got away. There is nothing for anyone here. Even the whales are long gone. Should anyone ever find this log, let me praise once again the excellence of skill of my officers and crew. Their loyalty and stout heart without fear. I wish them all and pray that they are now safe around. I give my love.
Oh
and
no!
the boys,
Turned into a
may they
robot a little
find-
bit.
may they find happiness in years to come. I only regret that I cannot hold them to me one last time. God forgive me for what I am about to do. Stephen Willard, Captain SS Wallaroo. It says.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna lie, I got some of that. My VMix was
Yeah.
kind of messing
Yeah.
up.
To a robot a little bit. So,
Yeah.
basically, looked like accident happened, and he sent some of the crew that survived, not to gangrene or other forms of illness, in a lifeboat to get help. But it appears that basically wished well to his family, and basically his goodbye note, saying that the endless ice is awful and horrible and no one should like it.
I had some stuff about whispers as well.
Yeah, the ice whispers to him, and
Leaving that out, Lyndon.
sorry, it just sounds normal Antarctic stuff right there. Yeah, you find that in there. Sebastian, are you looking around the whole middle?
Yes, I was looking at the bodies, I believe.
Okay, yeah, looking at the body. Give me a spot hidden as you're looking at the captain. No reason.
Up, up,
69.
Let's have a look. Spot hidden, spot hidden, spot hidden. It's unfortunately a fail.
Okay, so you're kind of looking at him over. It appears that one of his arms is lost to gangrene, and that he died from just the cold. Apparently, he was not wearing cold weather gear, just normal captain's gear, and it looks like he didn't die of hunger or thirst, but just the cold.
Is there a way to cash in luck?
I
remember it being done before. I'm just wondering.
You can push a roll. Any of you three can do this if you'd like to see if there's anything in this room. Typically, when you push a roll, you have to get a hard degree of success or extreme to succeed. Sometimes, depending on what the roll is, there could be a consequence if you fail. Like if you're like, I want to push this climb roll, and if you fail, then like something worse will happen than if you just regularly failed. But with the spot hidden, in this room, you may most certainly push that if you'd like to try to succeed at that.
Yeah, I think I would. Yes.
Okay, sure thing.
Might
Roll again.
spot hidden is 50, but I'll push that.
So you want a 25 or lower. 89.
Not getting that.
So anyone else want to push a spot hidden
89.
roll?
I don't think I'm looking at that because I think Hayden is going over to the chest with a lock on it.
Okay,
So
yeah. Well, this is
it's
just for
like-
the room in general, what you spy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let me try it then. Huh? Didn't go for it. Huh?
64. No. Alright. So, you're going over to the chest with a lock on it? It's locked.
Yeah. So, is it?
It is.
I have an item on my character sheet that I bought. It's a tool outfit. I have 20 tools. Can
Okay.
I have like some kind of like thick bolt cutters? Just because I work with machinery and stuff. They will,
Yeah,
like,
we'll
cut
say.
the-
You know what? Give me a luck check to see if you remember to put the bolt cutters on your thing.
Okay.
59?
55, 59. No, that's actually.
Oh, alright.
Can I spend it to like make it go lower?
You could spend luck to me. You can't spend luck on a luck check, unfortunately.
Oh right, okay.
But we'll say instead of bolt cutters, which make it really easy, you have a pry bar. You're gonna make a strength check to open it, but you do have a tool to open it. It's just not gonna be the ka-tink, real easy method of getting it open.
Could I petition for like some wires? Use dexterity, maybe.
You can roll me a locksmithing check if you want to pick the lock.
Is that a thing? Jesus Christ.
It is a thing.
No, I just go. Fucking.
Just go with strength, okay. I appreciate your efforts, but it is a check.
No, I don't do it. Fuck it.
Right. Alright, well, Hayden's trying to get that open. We'll pop back up to Lois, Lena, and Hunter. What are you guys doing? Where are you looking on this ship?
We went down to check out the explosion, the engine.
Okay, yeah, it looks like the boiler blew up. You get down there, it's pretty self-evident. See a couple charred bones.
All right, and
not
the
really
bodies are laid out. How close to the explosion, to the boiler?
And inside the boiler room, it's just chunks of bone. You don't even see an intact piece of skull. It's more like bone shards. On the top of the deck, they're laid out nearish the hole. It makes basically like a clear section of deck.
Right. All right. Just look around to see if there's anything else I can see that might be out of the ordinary. How many? What's the
Right.
body count now that we've seen?
So far, you found 10, and then indeterminate number of charred bone shards.
Okay.
Can't put
So
together
10
a
Yeah.
skeleton. So far,
Lois
10. Yes.
is doing that. She doesn't know a ton about exactly what happened here. So she's doing that thing where she like looks behind things, even though she's not sure what
Okay.
she's looking for. She's just trying to see if things stand out
Yeah.
to her. So she's like making
me a
a
spot.
show of looking.
Yeah. And Hunter can give me a spot hidden as well as he gets her looking around. There's also the crew quarters and some cargo bays aside from the spoiler room. There's not much to see on top of the deck and in the boiler room. 36, is that a pass or fail? Oh, yeah. Pass. You don't find anything particularly of interest. You know that at least 11 people have died here because there are chunks of skeleton down here. Maybe 12, it's hard to say. But you don't find anything in this area. You do know that there are probably 2 to 3 cargo bays in this ship as well as crew quarters So if you'd like to inspect one of those, you would most certainly move on. It's just basically the boiler. It looks like boiler malfunction and it blew up. Is all you can tell. Nasty explosion. The ship unable to.
I'm thinking I'll have Hayden probably take a closer look at that, and we will go to. I'll lead us to the crew quarters.
Crew quarters? Okay. There is nobody in any of the crew quarters. You open a door, open a door, open a door. All that's inside of the crew quarters, it's just shreds of moldering clothing and some personal items, like some dice, some decks of cards, pictures of family onto the walls, tobacco, razors. Doesn't look like a laundry bag. It doesn't look anything out of the ordinary. It actually looks much like a frozen, decayed example of how life on the Gabrielle looks.
All right. What I'm particularly looking for is any sign of that there might have been an emergency.
Okay.
Like were there clothes? Or did they have bags packed?
No, it doesn't appear so. You see that there's like a couple of like on the last crew quarters. There appears to be there are no personal possessions bags. Like it looks like some clothing is gone, but also a bag is gone. So maybe someone took them off, or took a bag off the ship. But nothing's like splayed out. Doesn't look like the rooms have been tossed. It doesn't look like any emergency other than you assume the boiler room happened. And since the boat didn't sink, you're assuming they controlled the fire, put it out, etc.
Right.
And then continued life as normal as best they could.
Anything with names? Are there any lockers with like name tags or bags with name
you're able
tags?
to find plenty of personal possessions, like John Smith, Patrick Henry,
Right.
all sorts of just names, nameplates.
Okay. I'm gonna be writing those down as I find them in my notebook.
Okay. Yeah. You find 22 names in total, including like references to the captain and first mate.
Right. And then I'll go and try to find Hayden.
Yeah. They appear to be Hayden, Baxter, and Sebastian appear to be in the captain's quarters. The door open, just chilling in there. There's a dead body.
Oh, so that's the captain?
Indeed.
Yes.
Found anything?
Not particularly. I was.
I hand him over the log.
We found a chest that needs opening. I have this crowbar, but I wasn't able to get enough leeway in it.
I'll take a look at it.
Body fully as well.
All right. Give me a strength check.
Uh,
Pry this chest open, this lock off.
And Hayden,
Yes.
there's the boiler seems to have exploded. I wonder if you might be able to take a closer look at it.
Sure. I'll go down there right now. And I'll hand you the crowbar.
Yeah. All right. So strength check from Hunter, mechanical repair check from Hayden.
Nice. Ooh.
Jeez.
Got it?
Pops right off.
It's
No
like,
damage. Just yeah.
It's already open. 37. That's a pass.
All right, 37. Looks like it's just a malfunction. Boilers are not the preferred method of, ship power, but it's a bit older fashioned. Not as stable. Looks like it just accidents happen. This was an unfortunate accident.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any
Okay.
signs of sabotage or anything. Just looks like boiler room, boiler overloaded.
Saboteur?
So-
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just see this and kind of head back.
Okay. Inside of the chest, you find an iron key and
An
a
iron-
leather pouch. A large
leather-
iron key and a leather pouch. It has something inside of it. Chink, chink, chink.
I will open the pouch.
All right, inside contains several gold coins of unknown origin. It's got oddly shaped sea creatures depicted on them.
Damn it, we
Gold
don't have letters.
coins? Gold coins?
Gold coins of unknown origin with oddly shaped sea creatures depicted on them.
There's no writing, no text.
Not that you can tell. You might want to have Elena look at them later. She's an archaeologist.
Nah, I'll throw them overboard. No, okay, I put them back in the pouch. And will this key fit in the pouch?
The key's a little too big for the pouch. It's not. There's about like 5 gold coins in there. It's not a lot, just a few.
All right, I'll make sure I stow those in a good pocket.
Okay.
Anything else in the chest? Any clothing?
Nope.
Books?
Nope. Just an iron key.
Weird.
It wasn't a big chest. It was a trunk. So just a iron key and pouch with gold coins.
All right, I'll gather everyone back up.
All right. Do you get to check out the cargo bays at all before you leave?
Yes, we'll go
All
to
right.
that last place. That is the last place.
Cargo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the last place.
Before
Cargo
we
bay
leave
1. Yeah.
Sorry, before we leave the captain's cabin, can I actually inspect the body? Signs of death, cause of death, all those kinds of things. Look at
Yeah.
why he's got his clothes compared to everybody else. Sort of trying to
give me
piece
a medicine
things
check.
together with that. Brilliant. Come on. Cool. That is a pass.
All right. Died of cold. Hypothermia, maybe? Gangrene on one arm. That's always a not fun way to go.
Yeah.
Looks like he had some alcohol right before he died, but maybe a last-ditch effort to feel warm, even though he knew it wouldn't help him get him warm. That appears to be a sign of death. No indicator as to why he has his clothes versus the others.
Interesting.
The only difference is that you could think is that he's below deck and they're above decks.
Yeah, possibly. We'll consider that. And this one seems
Okay.
in better condition than the others, above deck, that is. Maybe
Yeah, this one's
find
still all
the
of his
below.
skin, his hair is just real gaunt, kind of mummified, dried out.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll take his pistol. You said his pistol
Yeah.
was in his hand or outstretched?
It's like looks like it fell out of his hand, like on the
Okay.
bed. It's like right next to him, like he was holding it, and then he died and and it fell out.
Right. I'll look at it, open up the cylinder or whatever it is,
Fully loaded.
fully loaded. I'll tuck that into my pocket, and we'll go check out the hold.
All right, cargo bay 1. You get there, and the smell hits you before you get there. It smells of dead fish. You look inside. You see rotting whale corpses, barrels of blubber and whale oil. It reeks pretty bad. There doesn't appear to be anything else in this cargo hold except dead whales. You go into cargo bay 2. Appears to be that there's a lot of spoiled food goods in here. What probably isn't spoiled is some of the canned food, but the labels will kind of come off and floated around with any breezes that may have come in, weather inclements, stuff like that. And a heavy bolted strongbox is actually attached to the wall behind the goods, spoiled goods. You think that key would probably fit that strongbox?
I was just about to walk over and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one that's, you said, mounted to the wall.
Yeah, bolted to the wall.
Okay. I'll take a look at everyone there, a quick glance, and hold the key up.
Might as well.
All right. Stand back just a little bit,
Okay.
and I will open up, try the key.
Alright, it's a little, you gotta like wiggle it a bit because the key's a little frosty, the lock's a little frosty, but you're able to open it up, and inside, you find 12 bottles of good rye whiskey.
Rye. Nice.
Shield.
Brilliant.
I'll close it. Nothing. You guys go back to the boat.
I don't quite believe that somehow.
You have a smile on your face.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Okay. Yeah, I'll pull out the bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the seal is still good on it.
Yep, seal's still good on 'em. Perfectly
Um,
intact.
Where is it from? Is there a label on it?
This appears to have been imported from where it makes good rye whiskey, like a really good rye whiskey. Suggestions? Anyone? Where do you want this whiskey to be from?
Texas.
Texas. Some good American. No, it's not. It's from it's labeled Great Britain.
It's not as good whiskey, but it's like a huge bottle, you know, and that's how you know.
That's how you know it's from Texas. No, it's European. It's Great Britain.
Okay. All right. And you said 12 bottles.
I think it might be from Scotland. Yeah, 12 bottles of good Scottish rye whiskey. We're going with that.
Sounds good. All right. I will close it back down, put the bottle back. No, I'll take one of the bottles.
Okay.
And close it, lock it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the key. Anything else? I think we've about searched all the ship.
Just about. I may inspect the bodies that were lined up before we go, if that's possible.
All right, everybody back up on top deck.
We're not going to take more of the whiskey?
Not now.
I say in character. I mean, we're going to be leaving, right?
Take all of
No,
it.
we'll come back.
Very well.
That good.
We're going to be coming back for the captain.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But before we go, Lois, do you have a letter on you that was given to you, the weird one?
Oh, well, it's in my things. I didn't just keep it in my pocket, but I'd be happy to share it again.
Yes.
Actually, I also gave it to Hunter. Hunter, do you have a copy in your notes?
Not in my personal notes. No, I've got the copy with the packet there in the quarters.
We found a letter from the captain, and some of the phrasing on it reminds me a lot of the letter that you got.
Curious.
Well, it
Do you
couldn't
have
be
the
the
letter?
captain who wrote it. He's dead.
Astute
No, but
observation.
just some of the wording about it and him and third party mentions. It was exactly the same kind of writing that was on the captain's note about it whispering, the ice whispering to him.
Well, perhaps it is just speaking of the noise that ice makes, but we could probably take a
Wind
look over it.
howls,
with
ice
that.
whispers.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thanks.
I'm just thinking because our saboteur said that someone told him to give these things specifically, and we never knew why. And we asked him.
Interesting. We could compare the two when we get back aboard the Gabrielle.
Yes, even if it's not handwriting that's the same, it could be just a few key words. Might help us interpret something.
Indeed.
Yes.
Some sort
So
of
we'll go back
code.
up. Go back up to the top deck and have while the doc's looking over those laid out bodies, I'll use the radio back to the Gabrielle. Let Captain and Turlo know what we found, and since this is a ship item, we'll have them let us know what they want to do.
Like you can basically yell across to the Gabrielle too, like when you're on top of the deck. They, being a fellowship, this ship had not been found. They're going to bring in all the bodies that they can, so that they can be brought back to Australia and be laid to rest when they're done. Especially since most of them were skeletons, and you guys were planning on bringing back the bodies from the Percival Lakes camp anyway, to be properly interned back in native countries. So you've already got kind of a section of the cargo bay or the cargo holds that you can put them in for now.
I want to make
So-
sure Francois gets some photos of the Wallaroo here also.
Yeah. Yeah, he will take... See how good of his photo taking is. Should do. Oof. Well, he's a little freaked out. He loses some sanity as he takes these photos. Hands may be a little shaky, but he gets the photos.
Okay.
He's not seen bodies before. Yeah, you guys are able... the corpses are brought onto the ship. Whiskey is retrieved. As soon as Turlo finds out there's good Scottish rye whiskey on board, he's like, "Oh, that's coming. We should bring that as it's the only intact good left on the ship."
Yep. I'll hand him the key.
Yeah. I'll take the key.
Keep the coins. Just give him the key.
Yeah.
I don't say anything about the coins.
Yeah. Now he's just happy to hear about that whiskey. So you guys are able to... All the stuff's brought aboard, and you guys continue on. There's not anything you can do about the ship itself. The logbook is stored with the captain, but you guys are able to make copies of it. As you guys are pulling away, knowing that nothing you can do about the ship, I need everyone to give me spot hidden checks, actually, as you're on top of the deck. I'm actually going to give Lena one, too. She doesn't fail. She doesn't succeed.
Ugh, 78.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Oh,
All
good.
right. One person made it. All right. So
Just
Hunter.
waiting and hoping.
Sometimes like, nobody succeeds. We're doomed.
So I'm leaning on the rail. I'm leaning on the rail, looking at the ship as we're heading off. Just
All right. The ship goes out of sight about 1.5 miles, 2 miles later. You're kind of looking at some of these icebergs, kind of thinking about the ship, and you see in the exact, like the ice here is very translucent, transparent. You see in the exact center of one of these icebergs is the lifeboat from the Wallaroo. It is in the center. You can see it still has like Wallaroo kind of just in old paint written on the side, and it's underneath you. Like, so you're kind of looking down at it, and there are no trace of any crew members or cargo as you just pass by this lifeboat in the center of this chunk of ice. Icebergs that take years and years and years to form strikes you as a bit odd. But that, as you pass by that and head towards the Ross Sea, is where we're going to end tonight's session of Call of Cthulhu Beyond the Mountains of Madness.
Ah,
I know! It's so good.
yeah.
maddening.
Happening.
I'm so glad we won
All
last
right.
week.
Yeah, yeah. This is a very long side quest. I have to admit, Lindy. This is a very long side quest.
Don't worry, it'll be worth it. So, we're going to go around saying who we are, what our favorite moment was, and where we can find you on the internet. We're going to start with the lovely Renee, who was able to join us for our last hour, which is so happy. So, out of the scary part of the hour. What did you think?
I loved that I was able to hop in right when someone said, just in time. I think it was Jim. Just in time to roll insanity. I was like, oh, good. Glad I could make it here today. But really, I did fight 5 o'clock traffic to get back as quickly as I could in time for this game because I love playing this game with all you lovely folks, and so I didn't have a whole ton of moments to draw on, but I mean, hopping back in with a bunch of dead bodies picked clean and, you know, their clothes missing, I guess was a good a place as any to hop in, so thrilling, really. Hi, I'm Renee. I have been Lois Greenaway, the scientist, for the last hour of your time, and I can be found on the internet at RayDNR on Twitter or my website, raydn.com. I'm a freelance writer, editor, and social media manager, and I love writing about gaming, all things geeky, but also anything else you'd be interested in sending my way. So let me know if you need anything, and also you can check out the D&D actual play podcast that I DM for. It is family friendly. It is called Fate and the Fable Maidens, and you can find that at Fate FM Cast on social media or at fatefmcast.com. I also stream a lot of games and love every minute of it. I'm on Nerd Immersion on alternating Mondays playing D&D here, playing Call of Cthulhu on Tuesdays, and then on Scraticus Academy Wednesday nights playing a playset for Weave, which I wrote called Dynama, and that's a lot of fun too. So I'll be back streaming on my own channel this Thursday as well on Twitch. You're welcome to check that out. We're playing some Kingdom Hearts too, so thanks y'all so much for the support. Thanks for being here. Things are getting spooky.
Spooky. Say the spooky Crumpler. How you doing?
I'm good. Not sure about Baxter, but I'm good. Anyways, as you said, I am Crumpler64. You can find me on Twitter at Crumpler64, and also you'll find me on Twitch at Crumpler64 as well. On Thursdays, I stream whatever I have in my avail. I'm going through Batlog right now, so I am also either gonna. It's a tie. I'm also gonna have a community void on this. Either we're gonna continue doing Fist of the North Star, or we're gonna play Jump Force, which will be released. So I'm gonna leave that to community vote on what they want more. And also, you'll also find me on Sunday nights where I DM an all-girl campaign called themselves the Lovely Lady Crumps, as they are going through the Curse of Strahd. And where we left off, they found a seemingly abandoned mansion. If you're familiar with the campaign, you already know what's coming. But other than that, my players don't. So love to them.
Excellent. And what was yours or Baxter's favorite moment of today?
Well, I know of Baxter's favorite moment. Going back with Sheila. Me as a player's favorite moment is finally revealing, of course, whoever person revealing to the Doctor a little bit of Baxter's past. The reason why he became an artist, explaining why he has skills in firearms and so on.
Awesome. Yes, things come out as things get intense typically.
And I just happen to have a thing of chalk. That's one thing I wanted to put when I was doing the bid. This is chalk, by the way.
Nice. Bravo. Excellent prop work, sir. Excellent prop work. All right. Speaking of excellent, we have Jamojan. Where can we find you? What's your favorite part?
Everyone, thanks. Enjoyed another session here of Call of Cthulhu. I am Jamersion across the internets. Freelance geek content creator. I publish through my Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, and you've probably read my stuff on Geek and Sundry. This game is pretty awesome. I'm digging it every week. And yeah, I like the finally getting some more of Baxter's backstory also, given that moment, and with he and Sebastian, seeing what more of what we can expect in the future from him. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. Speaking of, I don't know how to segue from looking forward to talking to Pro Restarter. Hey, Pro.
Hey, thank you for having me. Super great. I was looking forward to talk to everyone in this awesome crew and playing Call of Cthulhu. I do a slew of stuff on my channel. I'm here as well. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I also have a GoFundMe going as well. There's GoFundMe/ProRestarter. Simple retweet helps out a lot as well. If you want to go check that out, it's on my Twitter page. You can also catch me here on Saturdays, playing Unrestful Hearts. And my favorite moment was just the knife measuring. That was great. Wanna see my knife?
Look at mine.
Great, I love it. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Last but certainly not least, we have Hollow.
Hello, I am Hollowtail. I was playing Sebastian, and there's a couple moments that were very, very good in this session. Quite a lot of them actually. But I kind of have to hone in on those two that have already been mentioned. To be honest with you, the comparing of knives was brilliant, hilarious. It was good to make and play Sebastian being as heavily uncomfortable as he was with all these sharp objects around. And it was also just really, really fun, that short scene we had with Baxter and Sebastian, where it was really good to be able to draw some of that out of him and sort of see more about Baxter's backstory. As for where you can find me on Twitter at A Hollow Tale. You can also find me on YouTube at A Hollow Tale. I do RPG analysis videos. I also do tips and tricks and things like that. There's also a podcast in the works that's going to be coming out very soon. And I'm also going to be working on a few streams of a game such as Unhallowed Metropolis, which is a neo-Victorian RPG.
Ooh. Fascinating. That's already piqued my interest.
Yep. Same here.
Victoria, sir. But yeah, I'm Laugh Love Lindy. You can find me online on the interwebs, Twitch, Twitter, all that stuff as Laugh Love Lindy. I play in /DM about a dozen or so tabletop RPGs a week. Right here, being one of them. Loving it. You guys are such a great crew. I'm so excited to plunge you into the depths of madness eventually. It's the slow burn, though. You gotta get there. You gotta ease into it. But if you want some not as eased into horror, you can check out my channel in an hour where I will be DMing Mists of Ravenloft. We're starting our third module of the series. We're doing all the old versus second edition modules, bumping up the fifth, and turning them into one long campaign rather than just a bunch of one-shots. So I'm connecting them, weaving those little webs of fate. So they're going to be starting Night of the Walking Dead tonight. So if you're interested in that, you should check it out. Also, here tomorrow afternoon, where I'm a player in Call of Cthulhu, and it's going to be a real emotional week this week because my character's husband, another player character, left the crew. So it's going to be real interesting to see how my assassin deals with that. And the last thing I'm just going to plug is Friday afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. I'm running a mini monthly module of Mouse Guard on my channel. It's DM'd by Super Robot Bear, and it's basically learn by play of Mouse Guards. Check it out. Also, there is no World Tree Burns tonight, sadly, but you should definitely check out all of the other wonderful, wonderful content that Encounter Roleplay provides. And there's Zweihander, there's Octone Cthulhu. They're all awesome shows with awesome people. So check it out for sure, and we will be back this time next week with more Beyond the Mountains of Madness as we finally reach landfall on Antarctica. Goodbye, everybody!